All right, so I assume you guys are going to want the recap first.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
All right, so you guys were loose inside Dammerhall's second lair, second from the bottom. You were searching around trying to find the Golem Foundry, because the ghosts of the former monarchs of Dammerhall had directed Nulgrim and, by extension, the rest of you there, saying that you might be able to find things that could help, as well as one of the monarchs can manifest there to converse with you. So you spent a lot of time wandering around, avoiding a colossus, avoiding the undead armies of King Bendrak Trinehammer. You destroyed another one of those smelteries that was producing the smog, until eventually, after discovering stairs leading up to the next level, you found a large building that you correctly identified as the Golem Foundry, at which point you engaged the defenders outside the foundry in combat. You threw stone golems into lava a bunch of times. And after you succeeded that combat, that's pretty much where we left off.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions before we get to the question?
I don't think so.
Did we level up last time?
I do not believe so.
I'm still listed at level 11, so
That's what I
Yeah,
have.
yeah, that's what I have. So don't worry, you'll get there soon.
Yes.
All right. So the question for this week, with all that's going on with Dammerhall, how do you feel about the Dwarven Gods right now?
is the same as I felt before a good answer for me?
I mean, even if that still is, just I don't have it written down what you felt before, so
Okay.
just externalize that for me.
Yeah. The gods kind of just seem the same issue he seems to have with the dwarves, that like as a whole, that they either just don't want to get involved or they are too obsessed with their own things to really deal with anything else.
All right.
Throne doesn't trust the gods. If they're paying attention to you, then they're using you for their own reasons.
Deeply conflicted at the moment as to how to interpret this. Obviously, we were sent here to stop whatever the hell's going on, but why is he able to steal the souls down from under the gods? And how long has this been going? I mean, this guy was king a long while back.
300 years ago.
What toll has this taken on the Dwarven afterlife in terms of numbers?
I think Nulgrim will see, the more subtle, well, I guess not necessarily subtle, but the few signs of divine intervention along their trek as a indication that perhaps, while the gods may be limited, they're at least trying to help us however they can.
Okay. That just leaves Freya.
I can see at this point she's feeling sort of disillusioned with the Dwarven gods, having discovered that all the souls of dwarves were being rightfully buried are being fed into the machine. She's definitely questioning the omnipotence and omnipresence of those gods. But yeah, she's starting to suspect that maybe her notions of the gods were based on some incomplete information.
Well, pantheistic gods generally don't have those two attributes, but still, you'd think they'd be able to defend their realm.
Mm-hmm. This is not a small breach.
Mm-hmm.
This is someone shoved an oil derrick into heaven and has been pumping it dry for 3 centuries. All right.
I feel like Amadeus would be taking notes.
I do find it funny that only the literal spirit is the maintaining spirituality one. Everyone else is either not super keen on the gods or is questioning. And one of the questioning ones is the cleric.
I'm not sure which ones Fergus would actually worship, but I imagine if he does actually say any prayers to gods, it probably wouldn't be dwarven ones.
Yeah, Fergus kind of strikes me as one of those people that isn't like overly pious, but just like a little prayer here and there to hedge your bets, you know?
That's pretty much his sentiment, but he's probably never actually said a single prayer to any of the dwarven gods.
Yeah.
Just because he didn't grow up around them, so he knows them by name, and that's pretty much it.
Mm.
He probably never even asked Taskell, like, so what's it like with following this god or that god? He's like, huh, so more forging stuff, huh? Cool.
Yeah, if you ask Taskell now, he's probably just going to 100-yard stare and say, difficult.
I've just been feeling particularly spiritual as of late.
Had you see him pull out a cigarette and just light it with his armor?
Long pipe drag.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we in the right map?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we are. There we are. I see.
Yep. Just takes a second there. So you guys are outside the Great Dwarven Golem Works. Those of you who care about Dwarven history know that this was the mastercraft of the second monarch of Dammerhall, Strega Trinehammer, an artificer without compare, according to legend. It was here that the auxiliary golem phalanxes, I can say words, were constructed by expert dwarven craftsmen, and were one of the great things that bolstered the Dammerhall military. The outside of it, at least from here, seems untouched by the dark industry of Bendrath Trinehammer. But it was guarded, and now it seems, at least so far from the outside, to stand empty.
Fergus probably addressed the group, seeing how everyone's looking, because I know Ignis got hit like a freight train last time.
Yeah.
Do we need to risk taking a short rest before we move in? Or how is everyone feeling?
According to my spell list, I could cast some Cure Wounds.
Yeah. Well, she's at 9 hit points right now. She's going to need more than just a couple Cure Wounds. But I'm a little down. We could always bring another cohort instead of her anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm just curious if everyone's feeling good to keep going.
I'm only 19 down for my max.
Some horrible boop noise.
Yeah, I heard that too. There was like a boop noise, like someone was hitting a push to talk button, but it caused problems.
No.
But if everyone's good to go, I don't have any reservations. I just wanted to bring it up
According to
before.
my sheet, I'm still fine, but I don't know if our tokens are tracking differently.
I am 71 out of 95, so I'm down 20, but I'm fine.
Yeah, about the same.
Yeah. I just figured if we're going to need to take a short rest of any kind, it'd probably be better to do it now than once we enter the facility. So if anyone needs features returned to them or any healing. Otherwise, we're good.
Yeah, let's just get in there.
Okay.
We're also, in theory, fleeing something.
Yeah. I think we had some issues with the giant golem thing being in this general vicinity, so.
Mm-hmm.
So onward.
All right. You enter through the gates of the bridge into the first rooms of the Great Golem Foundry. You are immediately greeted by the stark difference in architecture from the kind of brutalist utilitarian factories that Benjack crafted and these true dwarven stoneworks. It's like everything around you is a art piece, a celebration of dwarven craftsmanship. Statues and murals and inlays of metal and gems are in every single wall. Even Fergus, who doesn't really give a shit about dwarven culture as a rule, I feel like some part of Fergus would at least appreciate the time and effort and like the clear passion that went into the construction.
No, it would definitely be pretty shit. He's just like,
Mhm.
like, man, I could have used all of these gems for so much better when I was living in the port city.
As you,
he's not oblivious to stuff like that. It's just he's very nonchalant about caring about it.
Mm-hmm. Find some slightly less ominous music. One second, sorry about this. Yeah, let's do. As you advance in, you enter into a large hall. My apologies. With many stone pillars that look like they're basically made of dwarven statues modeled after craftsmen. This looks like it used to be a great craftsman hall. There's work tables and anvils and cold forges and hearths all scattered around this open space. The braziers have long since died out, and only darkness seems to hold sway here. The curious part is unlike all the dwarven dwellings that you have sort of stumbled and hidden through, all the tools laid about on the workbenches and anvils are untouched. All the metal that was ripped out of all the houses that you had traveled through thus far to most likely go towards creation of these horrible factories and buildings, all of it still remains here. Like this place was sealed and left alone.
I don't know, maybe this king guy still has some kind of respect for the dwarves, even though he's using them. I don't know. Or there's some magical protection. Looks over at Tasco.
I couldn't even begin to say.
Out of curiosity, Nolgrim will try to lift one of the
that
hammers or one of the tools. Just lift it a little bit up before setting it back.
He did claim that he was still trying to. He had a reason for doing all this, even if it's probably going to be a bad one.
Mm-hmm.
Nolgrim, you have no issue moving one of the hammers.
All right, even with ghost force.
Yeah, with like mage hand. I assume you were using your normal poltergeist.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
I know I have passive perception to keep me aware of things, but I'm going to make an active perception to see if there's anyone in this hall that we might be missing.
Sure.
Since I know sometimes you can roll higher than what your passive is. So.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. 23. Keep an eye out for anyone who might be like hiding around corners, any creatures, even any golems or anything that might be moving autonomously.
With that high perception, there's no golems or creatures within this space that you can see.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, as you make your way through this hall, you notice that on the dust kind of like piled up near the edges, in a place that's not generally inhabited, dust accrues very slowly, but it still does happen, tectonic plates, stone falls. But you do notice, though so very faint, There's a single pair of footprints. There's not enough to form a trail, you just notice them. They look they're humanoid, definitely, dwarven sized, boots. Difficult to tell how old it is without like a survival check.
I'd be like, "Oi, Thrum! I found some footsteps. Come help me for a second, because I want to have help with this survival roll."
They definitely wouldn't be here if it was over a century old. So
Yeah.
Yep.
I think our survival was pretty much the same. So.
Mhm.
Yeah, he'd just aid you,
Okay.
telling you what you already know, but he thinks you don't.
So 20 survival to determine how long it might have been here.
Days at the most.
Okay. So there has been something here recently, fellas and ladies. There have been here today, it looks like, but you gotta keep your head on a swivel.
Thorm
Like, is
hasn't
this
done it
one
in a while.
massive building, like with one room, or is there like
There's
doorways and
multiple.
stuff?
There's multiple rooms that you're just in one large hall right now. There's
Gotcha.
probably, you could probably talk to Taskell or Freya and talk about, though this is not the exact, they haven't been here before, similar like conventions of dwarven architecture and how there would be like multiple different like workshop halls and then probably the main assembly foundry at the center.
Gotcha.
Thrum would take some time to concentrate and see if he can. I'm looking for the ability to detect any dwarves or elves within, I think it was 5 miles.
5 miles? All right.
Hold on, before you reveal that, let me find the damn thing and make sure it's 5 miles. Yes, it is. There it is.
Yeah. Excluding the party of who you have with you, there is one in this building.
So he's able to tell which it is, dwarf or elf, and then its general direction and distance in miles from him.
It is dwarf, and general direction. As I said, it is within this building, so I don't actually have like a map of the interior of the foundry in front of me, but you would be able to go in that direction if you wanted to.
Well, fellows, we're not alone. There's another dwarf in here. I don't know if it's that crazy one from the other day.
I bet it's another one of the vampires.
They wouldn't detect as dwarves for me, right, Gumbo?
Correct. Otherwise, if that was the case, you'd be getting so many hits outside this building with all the undead ones.
All the day gas.
This is fair. I guess we head that way because probably should make sure this place is safe and figure out what we want to do from there.
As you on our guard. Could be a potential ally.
Could also be a boat.
You follow in the direction that Thrum indicated, going into a few hallways, passing workshops and storage areas, until you reach what is, you assume, the heart of the Golem Foundry, a vast, pitch black, unlit space that you're currently standing on, like a balcony overlooking, but with no real apparent light. However, in the railing of this balcony that you're standing on, there is like a lectern slab that's got like a circle of dwarven ruins on it.
Well, I figure, Nolgrim, if this is where they wanted us to come, it's got to do something with those ruins up there.
Seems as good of a place as any. And Nolgrim would have been, operating the mech. Any place we should do this? Like, specifically?
Little
Wait,
no.
you guys are trying to fix the robot? Is that what I heard?
I was just pointing out the circle of runes as being
Yeah, on the
because we were
lecture.
by the ancestor monarch. Come here.
Oh, I think I misunderstood the. I think I jumped a little bit too far into the Dwarven Foundry,
I
Golem
was
Foundry
kinda-
thing.
Kicking you like maybe you should go check that out, Ghost Man.
Yeah,
All
I'll
with
do what
your-
I can.
Intricate knowledge of dwarven history, dwarven runes.
Might need your help. And do you have history trained?
I do. I believe so.
I got a +5. How about you?
I've got a 9.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll assist you.
As you go up and look at this lectern, give me an Arcana check.
There we go.
Yeah, this is you haven't seen uses like this very often, but it's actually pretty simple now that you look at it, Freya, is that this is like a prepared spell that if someone living, not Nolgrim, puts their hand in the center of the circle, it'll cast a bunch of ever-burning flame spells and light up the space.
Well, it seems to be a fancy light switch.
Hey, it's a Tolkien-esque world. It's pretty fancy.
Yeah, from people that never
I like
seen
it.
Anyway,
light switches.
Hit this before we figure out who's hanging out with us in here.
It might alert them to our presence if they're enemies.
I say
Note to self:
turn
have
on-
dwarves develop the clapper to turn on lights instead of this.
I say turn on the lights and let's get a good look around.
Yeah, I
So,
figured
Fair
just
Fergus
one.
there hasn't
Big-
seen daylight in quite some time.
Still doesn't count as daylight if it's from torches.
Beggars can't be choosers, you asshole.
Okay, that's fair.
Going to turn on the lights.
All right. The runes give a warm orangey glow, as there's all of a sudden a sound as torches and braziers all along the inner parts and the outer walls of this room pop up with ever burning flames, and you see the space before you light up. And for a moment, those of you who are familiar with dwarven culture, you can see what this great room once was. A vast multi-tiered expanse leading down to a central pit where there's a grate over, where you could easily have seen hundreds of dwarves toiling away, comparing work, dashing between anvils, stands for blueprints to stand, great chains with molds for golems mounted on tracks across the ceilings. The true beating heart of dwarven stonecraft and rune magic met into the creation of golems. A space where normally it takes a golem manual, an extremely rare and powerful magic book, to create a single golem, but Strega, Trinehammer's rune work made it possible for that to be done with the building itself. And as the lights all settle and landing, it's like you return to the present and you see this vast empty space. The signs of this being left in a rapid hurry clear even from this distance. A great darkened stone casting hangs upon chains suspended in the middle of the ceiling. Vast in scope, surrounded by smaller ones that look like maybe they were used for the stone golems that you had seen before. For Freya, this is even though that it is sad to see it emptied, this is like Candyland for an artificer. This is where the greatest dwarven artificing could possibly be done. But it lies empty and abandoned. Not even spiders to leave cobwebs.
Nolgrim, did the ancestors tell us to look for anything once we got here?
Been a bit, but from what I recall, it was seek this place out. But was there?
Yeah, maybe Combo can
Yeah.
tell us if we look for anything specific.
Well, as you're looking around and debating that, You hear the echo of a voice seeming from far away, saying, "About time you lot got here," and seeming to materialize is another kind of glowy blue form, much like Nulgrim, but this time of a female dwarf with what was once black hair and 2 braids, wearing a blacksmithing apron, a belt of tools, with a crown resting upon her head. Everyone, probably except for Fergus, would recognize this as High Queen Strigga Stonesoul, daughter of Durin of Clan Shrinehammer.
And she still looks like a ghost, or does she?
She's very much a ghost.
I just
just
look at
like
her and look over at Nolgrim, friend of yours.
Oh. By literal definition of saving me from becoming a grudge blade abomination, yeah, I would say so. I consider her a friend. And you would introduce her in case if he wasn't abundantly clear.
Cool. The last ghost we met tried to kill us, remember? So I had to make sure.
Did not.
You don't count. You were around before you became a ghost. I'm talking about that one in that damn mine that you got your helmet from.
Ah, gotcha.
Strigga turns to you, Fergus, and very clearly looks you up and down. Expressionless face. So you're out of the air, eh?
Yeah. I cringe every time someone calls me that, but yes.
You remind me of my son.
Oh god, that makes it worse.
It's not a compliment.
I can't tell if that makes it even worse or slightly better.
We got to stop. Dumbo, that was awesome.
If we
That
could
was
give
a
you
fantastic line.
you would have just gotten one, okay? That was real.
Also, how bad does it have to? Do I have to feel being burnt by an old lady?
I guess Freya will speak up and say, "Well, he's gotten us this far."
I suppose that's true. Proof in the stone and all that. She turns her attention towards the great space outlined by the torchlight. Been a long time since I've been able to manifest. Taking a right shit job of the place, haven't they?
Better than the rest of the space we've seen outside of here.
Aye.
Kind of curious how this wasn't stripped down to bare stone.
Well, I wasn't too keen on sharing the exact specifications of how I was able to make golems so quickly here in the Foundry. Took that to me grave. It's likely that my dear grandson didn't want to take the chance of destroying the rune work I left in this place.
Oh, okay.
So does that
Right?
mean we're safe?
Sorry, say again?
So does that mean we're safe in here?
Doesn't look like they've trampled the place any, but we'll need to do a thorough inspection. All right.
Also, she wasn't the one we were detecting, so there's still a dwarf in here.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she's 100%.
No, he points that out verbally to everybody. He's like, we're talking to her, but we probably have a dwarf that could be watching us while we're doing this. And clearly a living dwarf, so it's clearly not anyone to, at least I think, to do with what's going on. But I could be way wrong.
The only dwarves here that we've fought that have tried to kill us are undead. So if there's a living dwarf in here, they're on the bottom of my priorities right now.
I mean, unless there's just someone that the guy kept alive because he likes it and is reporting back to him, and then it is our concern. I feel like we should find this out before it becomes an actual issue.
Was that a drawbridge out front that we crossed?
No, that
Okay.
was just the it was the stone bridge from the map. It was just the
Okay.
drawbridge was the only asset I had.
Makes sense. I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure. Okay, that's fair.
I haven't managed to build a dwarf detector yet, so unless anyone's got any other ideas.
Hey, Thrum, you're a dwarf detector. Where is she? Or he? Or whatever the fuck it is.
Do I still get a feeling of which direction she would be in? I mean, technically, I can do it unlimited number of times, but it takes a minute every time. So if they're moving,
Yeah, it is. It's still a vague like that direction. This is like a vast structure with multiple levels.
Yep.
You know, to be clear, the size of just this room that you're looking at, which is the heart of the Foundry, it's a square room with each side being like the length of like 4 football fields.
Yeah.
Still, a vague that way is
Mhm.
more than nothing.
Yeah, and you're looking for like a at tops 5 foot tall individual. They could be a speck on the other side of the room, and you might not notice.
Well, if y'all don't mind, while you're having a conversation with Ghosty Girl here, I probably should go check that out since I have the capability of being unseen. If y'all don't mind.
Well, I'll give you the notes.
Would you like me to tag along with you? I could also be unseen.
Where do you think you're going, young man?
Wait, me or the ghost? I point to
She's speaking to you.
Oh, I'm not wanting to deal with this. So I'm going to go try to see what's going on elsewhere.
That's too fucking bad. I haven't dismissed you. Come, there's work to be done.
The fuck you mean dismiss me? And he still follows.
I like the
She
back
spoke
talk
with a
as you're
very
being drugged by
authoritative
an
tone.
ear.
She's the queen, motherfucker.
Listen, last time I encountered a ghost, they made my bones ache for... They still ache, okay? I don't really want to do that again.
Oh yeah, like you don't have a bottle of immortality.
No one else knows that. I haven't told anybody else.
All right. The first thing we should do is get a better scope on how damaged the facilities are here. And she's like looking out. That giant casting suspended in the air there is not one I'm familiar with from one of my designs, which means it's likely what that Colossus came from. I'm assuming, unless you're dead set on piloting that wreck around, that you'll be wanting to fix that.
It's only a wreck cleaning up the refuse of what came before.
I suppose. We'll also need to check the blueprint archive for the schematics of the Colossus that Bendrak created, and I can check to make sure my private armory that I hid in a secret compartment is still present. I will give you access to that on loan.
I mean, what the fuck are you going to do with it? You're dead.
Turns, fully faces you. Are you back talking me, son?
I mean, yeah. Just lead the way, Grandma.
Hey, you were a lot more likable in the books.
There were fucking books of her?
She was always famous for being very no nonsense. But she was very good at her job.
Shall be known as all nonsense, the king.
So then you'll be like the third monarch of Dammerhall.
The heartless king of nonsense?
No, the third monarch was her son,
Mhm.
Bathrune Trinehammer.
Right.
Who was all about merchants and diplomacy. He was the one wearing the hat with the feather in it when you met him in the
Oh,
afterlife.
gotcha.
Famous for his cheery demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't be me.
So unless you guys wish to put up with the Ghost Queen, she'll start very much being used to being in charge, start giving you directions of the stuff to check. To see how like this workspace is. As she goes off to go make sure to see if her armory is undisturbed.
Ogre will probably be enjoying himself with that task, getting to see a place of legend and lore at this point.
Thrum's used to getting bossed around. He'd fall back into the old groove. Yes, Mom.
Just
yes, Mom.
goes right into husband mode.
Yes, Mom.
Just so you know, a ghost cannot be a new ex-wife, Thrum. Just make sure that you know that now.
Yes, sir.
So what? They're gonna go find and see if there's any more weapons.
Yeah, she's checking to make sure that the personal armory she had that was stashed away in a secret room was undisturbed in the last 500 years since she died. She'll, if you insist, she'll allow one person to come with her. It's up to what you guys want to
Someone
do.
should probably carry it. And if anyone else, I'll go. I guess it would really matter who's searching things. Who's big? Taskell, Thrum, do you want to go with her?
Yeah, she's very pointedly anyone except Fergus.
Yeah.
Thrum. Well, no, you can go Taskell if you want, but I don't care.
All
Out
right.
of character.
Priest of the Forge, maybe.
That's Michael.
Shoo, Grandma needs an escort. Make sure to hold
Yeah, I'll go.
hands.
All right. So Taskell's going with the Queen. Fergus and Nilgrim are staying put. Thrum is going on autopilot. What are you doing, Freya?
I guess if there's already someone going to the armory, then I'm just gonna help everyone else. Make sure it's up and running.
Yep.
I was just gonna do a mental roll because I might be doing something different than following orders in a second here.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you want to do.
Yep, I'm gonna go invisible and go looking for that dwarf. I just wait until everyone's starting to work, and I just boop and just wander off in the direction that Thrum had pointed out.
Can I do a perception?
Sure.
Something?
Opposed perception versus his stealth.
Yes, I'm sure it'll be very good.
I gone.
Okay, have fun dying.
I will say
I'm not going to engage. I'm just going to look and see if I can find him.
So we'll start with Freya and Thrum and everyone who's staying in the main workshop area. Without needing to do a roll, Freya, you can absolutely, if you could like fuel one of these furnaces again, forges again, which you could do with a little bit of magic. This is absolutely everything you need to repair and do any upgrades to your suit that you want to do.
Yep.
Additionally, because of the high quality of parts and runic equipment you have to work with here, when you assemble the suit in here, you will have 2 additional build points for allocating abilities to it over your level.
Okay. I like it.
Thrum, meanwhile, as you're just doing the monotonous checklists, you probably look at some point to make sure that Fergus isn't slashing off, and then you notice that he's gone, and you never saw him leave. I know words.
But the Queen's gone?
Yeah, well, she and Taskell left. You already knew that.
Thrum's gonna think, I guess the boy did decide to go with her. Maybe learn something from her. Maybe learn a little bit about who he is.
Meanwhile, I'm just going through anything that I can tilt crooked. I'm doing it.
This is the day that Fergus learns that all the pictures on the wall are in fact built into the wall.
Doesn't stop him from trying, and one of these days he'll be successful.
Just tilt the whole of Dammerhall 5 degrees to the left.
No, we'll save that for the wizard that's going to pop up that we left alone in the first layer. He's going to show up and he's like, this is off-centered. Turns the whole world off-center.
I love the idea that like all the dwarven stonework is so polished that you try to put paint on it for graffiti and it just slides off. You can't tilt anything. You can't graffiti it. It's so ordered. It's petty vandalism proof. So Taskell, you're following the floating ghost of the Queen. she starts no conversation with you, so it's entirely up to you if you wish to talk to her.
After a few minutes of silence, I'd probably start poking at how much she knows of what's going on. Like, you lot are able to save Nolgrim from his fate.
Hey, barely. Most likely just because he was a grudge blade.
How long has this been going on?
Around 300 years, I would say. A little before the fall, or what you would know as the fall of Dammerhall. Bendrak turned his creation on his own people.
Was that what caused the fall?
To my understanding, that colossus that he made. It's also when he first breached the halls of our fathers and cut off the ancestors from interacting with the living dwarves.
Theater, we thought it was the drow. I suppose the lad's right in trying to reach out to others if we did this to ourselves. What
you mean the fop? The heir? I never got his name, I didn't ask.
He's a fop in this shit, but he's been a decent leader so far. Hasn't overly antagonized anyone else. Though I think something about the dwarven ways does get under his skin. Perhaps why he's taunting you a bit more. Lad grew up in Corsiconia. Offhand, is that nation younger than the Fall, or?
Yeah, slightly young. Well, certainly before her time. It existed. It was just starting like 300 years ago. But
yeah, so after her time. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. Which I guess I'd go on to be like, yeah, it's a new little nation the humans have founded on the continent on which Dammerhall existed.
Fantasy Spain.
Every word, he sounds more and more like son Fathrin. Always hobnobbing and talking with others. No good respect for a long day's work.
Hey. But then what does this mean of the father and the mother? The ancestors were silenced during the fall, but...
Not the one you should ask, unfortunately. Never been a cleric of the gods. Or your domain, I would wager.
Thought perhaps being on that side of the veil, you might have a little more insight. I have been putting off trying to directly contact the father since I found out. I'm concerned about what I might learn. Concerned about what I've already learned. But either way, this needs to stop.
Aye, that it does. Each one of us who have ruled Dammerhall have made our fair share of mistakes. Even I. Bendrak has gone beyond that. I loathe the idea that the tools I left behind were what gave him the start to create the horror that he has wrought. I means to make amends with that. I know not much of the ways of the gods. I wish I could give you guidance in that regard, but I can't. I know only of the material, that which can be crafted and bent, shaped into new purpose. I can supply you that. Wisdom of the divine, you'll have to find for yourself. I am sorry that I cannot provide you more.
Task would just nod. I assume at this point we're getting close to where we were going.
She gives you instructions as you reach a seemingly ordinary wall lined with statues on how to push several runes that would open up a sliding stone door into a room that looks like it truly hasn't been touched in a long time. But it is lined upon lined with all manner of goodies that she stashed away. And she reiterates as she's beginning to describe it to you. All right, remember, these are on loan. When Bendrak's been defeated, we will be doing an account, and I will share with you some magic item handouts. So first up,
What's she gonna do? Haunt
Ooh,
us?
goody ringing hands.
Probably.
so I'm just sharing these with everyone. And then there's one pair of those +2 tools. Actually, I'll just write this out and then I'll do the handout. That'd be smarter.
Yeah, tools, boring.
Those ones seem to be specifically for Freya. Requires attunement by artificer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then...
Beer keg, dwarven beer keg.
We already have a dwarven beer keg.
It's just this mug.
I mean, same difference. It fills up magically.
All right, so
The stein, we need a keg to fill it.
So
Always
there's that.
drunk. Well, a keg's worth by now.
All right, so that's the contents of the armory. I'm sharing the handouts with you all now. Should be a mighty fine collection of goodies for you.
A mortar?
A runic mortar.
Shit, yeah.
And 2 arcane cannons and 20 seeking darts.
What?
Takes an action to aim and an action to fire the cannon. 5 minutes to recharge. And it's an actual cannon.
It's an actual cannon.
I have a feeling we're going to need this to take down the big nasty. No, I'd prefer to find Bendrak first.
Hey, she promised you an armory. That's what she delivered on.
Throne's got dibs on one cannon.
Yeah,
He's
one
not
of
there,
One of them
it's
has to be for
somewhere.
Freya because bitches love cannons, okay?
Yeah, a large creature can carry one of those cannons without aid.
Done.
Just Thrum coming on. Say hello to my little friend.
Dart is puts them on the defensive roll. So if we use them against Richard, they'd be good. But
Wait, use them against me?
it's a joke. If you would be
Yeah, yeah.
aiming, they wouldn't make the DC 16 ever. Yeah, the mortar, 4 charges.
Oh my
Three
god,
games.
this cannon can shoot 1,200 feet away.
Mm-hmm. It's a cannon.
So if 2 creatures are working together, can it be reloaded and fire in the same round?
No, because it needs to recharge magically.
It could be aimed and fired for one
Oh,
round.
5 minutes. to
2
recharge.
people working together can aim and fire on one round, or one large creature can aim it and fire it on their own.
Hmm.
So Thrum in big form or Freya's suit.
Nice.
So what you're saying is, instead of arms, we can affix 2 of these to Freya's suits, and those could just add to it.
Or just put them on the shoulders.
There's that.
No, she can't have both. One's going on Thrum's back.
I mean, if
Listen,
you're
You can't.
and do that.
The back of her suit needs a sitting position so we can put the mortar on there and just someone can sit there and shoot from the back of it.
These
So
are
that should give you-
fantastic ideas.
That should give you a nice little haul of weaponry. So while Taskell's figuring out how to haul all of this back into the main workspace where Freya and everyone is,
Anyone know where Fergus is?
this is a good time to ask. Nolgrim, so what are you doing as you're being dragged behind an invisible Fergus?
Probably wondering what the fuck is going on for a second there, and then try to zero in on him, I suppose.
Yeah, because you had the sensation of the fact that you're inspecting some of the equipment as instructed by the Queen, and then all of a sudden it's like you're not moving, but you're being dragged backwards, and it's not like you feel it. It's just like you're moving away.
I didn't know that was a thing, and I love it.
It's like you're a mouse cursor stuck on the edge of the screen that's panning away.
Right.
And then Fergus is invisible.
So I guess the question is, was he among the group when he started getting pulled away? He probably would have been searching, like just kind of admiring the stonework and all that. So, I think. I think he might have gotten a little parted from the group. I guess it depends on how long it would have taken for people to question where he ran off to, and as far as whether or not I'm visible.
I'd say it's whatever you want. It's just the reality that Fergus snuck away and he's peering through these hallways, and there's something at the center of your tether that you can assume is a person.
I think he wouldn't make a scene out of it, but I think he would probably pop invisibility too and try to find the origin of that tether and track down Fergus.
Give me a stealth check, Fergus. Give me a perception.
Fucking, I love that Fergus and Nolgrim have always been the chaos duo.
Right.
All right, so that's
Chaos
19.
duo.
What's your perception, Fergus? Fergus, there's something following you.
I pick up the pace.
It's concealing itself with magic and it's keeping pace with you. Nolgrim, it's trying to get away from you now.
I just turn a corner and I try to hide and see if they are following me.
Nolgrim just cuts through the corner.
Son of a bitch.
Wow, what similar encounters?
Because you're both invisible and you're both...
But I don't think I'll be able to detect him.
Yep. Fucking game of submarine.
I'm gonna just roll myself an insight.
I think if Nolgrim got the indication it was close, he'd probably like, Fergus, you're there.
Son of a
Right,
bitch,
it'd be
I
all
thought I
the more
got away.
entertaining if he was just obliviously like hovering over right over his shoulder.
Just hear me. Son of a bitch. I thought I got away without anyone noticing.
Oh, about that. So I had to pick a tether to the mortal realm when I was brought back in W. And apparently there's a certain length to that tether. So
You hear the longest drawn out sigh from Fergus that you've ever heard.
hey,
Kenneth say.
of all the people in the group, at least it's not Thrum.
Fair. Anyway, I'm gonna go look for that dwarf where you've been avoiding because I don't like the fact that they're just kind of in here. I don't trust it. So yeah,
Understandable.
I guess you're stuck with me.
Well, literally, but yes, I'll help.
I think it was this way, and I kind of point to the direction I've been wandering that Thrum had pointed to originally. You can go through walls. Keep an eye out in the rooms that I don't go through.
I could do that. And yeah, so if there's any doors along the way, he would
Mm.
poke his head in, just see if he could peek inside for any sign of dwarf.
Fergus, give me a survival flat.
9.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to track people over Bearstone.
Yeah.
You're basically just wandering the halls at this point.
I wonder, can I do it? I can't. I have to go check my scout archetype because I might be able to add to it. I can't remember. This is one of the ones I can add superiority die. Superiority die. Survival superiority. So I guess I imagine it's going to say yes to survival. Yes. So I will roll and see if I can get it a little better, but it's only going to be 8 max.
Yep.
16.
Yeah, it's still hard to pick up a trail.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, Nilgrim, roll me a perception.
All right. 9.
Never mind.
It's a dynamic duo over here.
Mhm.
All right, Fergus and Nilgrim blindly wandering the halls, finding nothing. So Freya, Thrum, and the cohorts, Strega and Taskell return bearing many weapons and goodies.
Yeah, Thrum will immediately start playing with the cannon.
Sticking his head in the barrel.
And you
Like
say we've got
kid
to
in the cannon
return
store
them,
over here.
but not until the old man is dead. Right?
Eh?
What if we subdue him and keep him alive, but he can't hurt anyone anymore? Can we keep the weapons then?
I think that goes against the spirit of the agreement.
I'm trying to hammer out a fair contract.
She gives you the stern, grandmotherly, I think you know the answer to that question look.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyway, what do you need a cannon for? Isn't your whole thing getting up close and grappling?
I'm not going to say this out loud, but I'm jealous of yours.
You know what? Never mind.
Insinuation lays heavy on the air.
So what are you going to do when you use your one shot for 5 minutes? Just drop it on the ground?
Probably get a divorce.
At least make a sling or something for it to go around your back.
I could do that. I'm not very good at making things. How heavy is it? Is it a good swinging tool? He goes large and tries to swing it around and hit with
When you
it.
say, is it a good swinging tool, she cringes.
It's a bit unwieldy. Not the length, it's really the girth that sets it off.
I feel like Thrum
Actually, you should
asking.
design all your ex-wives.
I feel like Thrum asking if a magical cannon could be used as a good swinging tool is like your elderly uncle asking your computer, but can it do email?
Can do all of the email.
Yeah.
I'm afraid your tablet is too thin for email.
You break
But I'm
Other one.
sensing kind of a problem here. And aren't you like basically immobile 90% of the time when large? You can do the water teleport, yes, but
What's the range on this cannon?
yes.
Then no problem at all.
It's more of a we're taking it if we take it along with us and you're carrying it. When you're at medium size, you'd have to pull it.
There's nothing medium about me, Taskell, but I do take your point there. He would try and water teleport with it, and I guess since
Yeah.
it's a weapon, it would work.
Yeah, it's an item. You could do that.
See? No problem.
You
I
feel
just
like you
have
would
to
be.
set it down because it's a bit heavy, and it goes back small or medium. Yeah, it is a bit heavy. I don't think I could pick it up like this, and he's going to try and not be successful.
So it's at this point that Ivy pipes in. So, like,
Oh.
Fergus and Milgram left like a while ago.
Huh?
That moment where the camera pulls out to show the room where you're all looking around and the two very obviously missing people.
It shows little cardboard cutouts of where they should be, kind of blinking.
God damn it! Someone find him. If he dies, you came here for fucking nothing.
Fergus, you said there was a layer of dust. Fergus is going to look for, not Fergus, God damn it, Thrum is going to look for tracks, probably of one being drug.
Well, he's a ghost. You're not going to find his tracks.
Oh, yeah. It would just slide right through, wouldn't he?
I mean, your primeval awareness, when I say one dwarf, I'm factoring out the party, so you can still tell where Fergus is. Or maybe it's going to be the other one. Coin flip.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good point.
I lead you all into finding the other dwarf before us.
He'd spend a minute studying the area and uses awareness to try and detect a dwarfy. Now he detects two dwarves. One there and one there.
Vaguely in the
Does
same
Golem
direction.
detect as dwarf to him?
Oh, undead.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I can't detect you, but I got Fergus.
Queen Strega says, right, well, you lot sort that out with the FOP. I'm going to go check on why the fires of the mountain are not flowing into the central foundry here. I'll be back soon. And she just drifts into the floor.
All right, now that she's gone, can someone explain what she's been doing for the last 300 years and why she only just now showed up? Looks at Taskell.
If I had to guess, I'd say she's bound to Dammerhall. Especially given the unconventional burial that the select members of the royal family received. But the difference of souls being here versus the halls of the father and mother, not my place, says the cleric. But yes. Yeah. But we have to go find Fergus.
All right, Thrum, give me a survival to try to follow his tracks.
All right.
Yeah. You are somehow able to track someone who's walking across Bearstone. Who knows how, but you're that good.
Probably his cologne.
Yeah, I can sense dwarves from 5 miles away. I have a feeling that has
He
something
can
to do
sense
with
the
it.
disappointment in the air as he's following me.
Yeah. I'm following a trail of tears here.
He's able to track down Fergus because the closer he gets, the worse his headache gets.
Mm-hmm. It's like an allergy.
Critical migraine territory, boys. Look around. He's in this room.
Is everyone going with Thrum?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with him.
All right. All right. Fergus, give me another survival. Milgram, give me another perception. As you are. Let's see that perception.
It's a -2. Yeah.
All right. So you guys have been wandering through hallways and storerooms, and at this point, you guys realize that you're completely fucking lost. You don't even know how to get back if you wanted to.
So I'm not saying this is a bad
and then
idea.
Modified one.
I'm not saying this is a bad idea, but it might have been a bad idea.
And it's probably best or it makes sense that we're invisible because probably couldn't even find ourselves. We're so lost.
Listen, I'm used to operating in caves now, and the outdoors. I don't fucking know dwarven halls. They all look the same. That guy in that statue there looked the same as that fucking portrait there.
Can
Why do all
to a little bit of
dwarves have the
historical
same
knowledge
style
of the
beard?
two distinct characters you just pointed out and just go into like a 10-minute long diatribe?
Listen, I'm just saying, some new styles of beards would not kill dwarves.
Not enough, but I don't think yours is going to catch on.
That sounds. I know that doesn't sound like a challenge, but I kind of take that as a challenge. So if I actually do might end up being king, I am going to rock this stash for as long as possible, and I am going to disappoint so many old people.
The audience at home, they're invisible, so this is an empty room with two people having an argument about beer.
Probably not as uncommon in the Hall of
really,
Dwarves as much as
it's
you think,
really good on the animation budget.
Can we roll to hear the beard conversation?
Sure. Someone from the searchers can roll one perception.
I feel like Throne would be on this.
All right.
Yeah.
You don't hear the words, but you definitely hear the echoing of two voices bickering.
I hear the old couple up ahead. Probably arguing about styles of clothing.
I mean, he's not too far off.
Let's just find him.
What the hell are they doing?
Probably trying to find that dwarf that's in here with us.
What
It's
idiot.
It's around this time, Fergus and Nilgrim, you hear the sound of metal doors opening, and then the sound of heavy footsteps in a conjoining room. As something slowly goes past.
Ghost guy, go through there and see what that's going on.
Do so.
Tell Nolgrim to go look for it.
Give me a stealth.
Should have advantage still if you're invisible, so.
I do wonder how a ghost could be noisy. Probably just Nolgrim muttering to himself.
Oh, it could also just mean you don't evacuate line of sight,
Yeah. 14?
Yep. So you poke your head through the wall. You have to go all the way through because if you end your turn in there, you see a dwarven figure slowly stomping through the darkness. At first, when you see this person with your dark vision, you think it's like another undead dwarf, like a wight. But you realize the white of their head is not a bare skull or necrotic flesh, but it is rather kind of like clammy, almost scale-like, that's close to the bone, a bald head with a bright white beard. What at first you thought was two glowing green dots and vacant skull eyes are in fact sunken eyes with deep, deep bags underneath them. The hunched figure is mumbling to themselves through the beard, and clutched in one of their fists is a large long sword, single-edged, more like a giant cleaver than a true blade, which you in particular, Nilgrim, you recognize that sword. That is one of the fabled grudge blades, the artifacts that the Order of Grudge Blades are named after. In the olden times, each grudge blade, when they were given the pact, they would be issued one of these weapons that would amplify and focus their powers. When you became a grudge blade, the knowledge had long since been lost, so you were never given one. But if this figure possesses one, and that's when the horrible realization that the reason why this dwarven figure looks like this is because that is a grudge blade that has been alive long enough, but their grudges are unfulfilled, that they're starting to turn even while they're still alive. Even from here, you see the large tome clipped to its plate mail belt, a book of grudges like you once possessed, exact same size like you would wear on your hip. You have found what's left of the last grudge blade of Dammerhall.
Has he noticed me at this point?
No.
Are there any secret call signs or anything like that among the Grudgeblade Order to...
Nothing that you've been taught. It is worth
Okay.
highlighting you've never actually
Yeah.
met another grudge blade before.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why one thing I'm distinctly aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Remind me, when we first came to this area, before the fight, I was still able to see the spirits of the dead, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Trying to think if I want to reveal myself or not. No, I think I go.
Yeah,
Go
you
on.
hear this guy muttering to
Yeah.
himself, which to anyone else would seem like insanity, and well, maybe it is a little bit of insanity, but you've been on the other side of this dichotomy. He's probably seeing some shit.
So Nolgrim will probably
You'll blend right in.
Nolgrim would backtrack to Fergus and account what he saw and say that probably best to come with the group. He might not be hostile to us, but he's been here for a while, and I don't know how sane he is at this point.
This is fair. Now we just got to find out where the hell everyone else is. Let's try to backtrack and let them know what we found.
Yeah, how dare they wander off?
So for the rest of you, a door opens and then nothing comes out as it closes behind it.
Oh, hey guys.
Yep, that should be them.
Yep. From startled goes rock hard.
Too much
Are you
information.
Wasting your daily spells, or
So there's a grudge blade in here if we want to deal with that.
Is that the dwarf for sensing?
Looks like it. For at least what Nolgrim was saying. And he's pretty
What do
close
you-
by if you want to come take a look.
What do you mean, deal with that?
We're not sure how crazy he is.
I would encourage to try diplomacy first, but
Yeah, that.
he's probably the reason why this place hasn't been taken. Or at least the reason why there are guards out front, but not inside.
Should I go back and get my cannon?
I don't think so. Also, you have a fucking cannon?
I mean,
Hey, the queen loaned us a few.
Again, why with the loan? Once she's dead, why the fuck is she gonna need them? Anyway, let's find this guy before he wanders off and we lose sight of him again. So we will lead him to the direction of where we heard the footsteps and such.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine we're probably not invisible at this point because it's probably been about an hour.
Yeah. Let's see here. Someone give me a another survival.
I'll assist you, Thrum. You've been doing better than I have.
All right.
We're the putzes that got lost in this fucking place. 14.
Damn it, boy. Don't step on me.
You do not find this grudge blade, but you do find hints of his passing through this area recently. You can you could continue tracking him if you wish.
Yeah, we probably should. We can't really just stick around here and wait for him to find us. He might think we're just part of whatever undead people that are assaulting this place probably regularly. Better to introduce ourselves right away than have him sneak up on us and try to execute us while we're sleeping.
Well, I can't tell which way he went and which way was you two. Or, well, you won.
How
offense,
fast do we
Golem.
want to find? I asked the group, how fast do we want to find this guy?
Don't do anything stupid to draw attention.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Were there footsteps in the Foundry?
Not in the central room where you guys were. At least you
I
could
say
tell.
let's just start getting things going, and if he becomes a problem, then we deal with him then.
Yeah. I'm also like,
I
if
don't
he's
know if
tried
he
this
was-
long, he might be helpful for our cause. But let's go back, I guess. Man, I really want to just shout, "Oi, Grudgeblade!" Just see how long it takes him to come running. Just for the darkness, we just see this guy doing that full fucking. You know that guy from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs? That fucking
Yep.
police officer run, just doing one of those runs towards us.
I mean, hell, considering what Bendrak's doing, he might have a grudge against you, Fergus.
I mean, he doesn't know who I am.
Don't.
So
grudge-
far, everyone we've met
know.
of dwarven descent has known who you are.
I mean,
And those who
that's not
haven't,
true.
everyone looks at Nilgrim. So returning to the central room of the Foundry.
Yeah.
You return
Just to
just
finish fixing up the mech.
you return just in time for Strega to emerge once again from the floor and say, "All right, I did a survey of the damage. The main power for the Foundry is gone. Originally, there is a shaft going straight down to the molten heart of the mountain of Dammerhall. Unfortunately, it looks like Bendrak's done something to the heart of the mountain, drawing that power elsewhere. The Foundry is usable, but for minor works of artifice. Not any great dwarven metal craft, unfortunately. But we can still check the schematics archives for anything useful on the Colossus."
There's also a Grudge Blade wandering around here. You seemed keen on them before, so I'm not sure if you knew that or not.
She points at Nilgrim and looks at you.
No, a different
Oh,
one, an older one.
No go, shake his head, and a living one.
Really?
Hmm.
Don't know that.
I mean,
My
was really
present-
counted as living.
My presence is dampened here in this space when there is not a living dwarf present. I was not aware of the area, otherwise I would have done all their surveying before you got here. If any of you leave the Foundry, I will. Well, if all of you leave the Foundry, I'll begin to fade back into the ethereal plane. That's how I do not know.
From Tassel. See, that's what it was.
But the important part is, you said there's enough power to help rebuild my suit.
Hey, yeah. And we have the equipment for that. Looks like it's seen the business end of an avalanche, though. May take some time. You may want to do some improvements. In the
Also,
meantime,
it's going to take a while, isn't it? Like a couple days or something.
yeah, it's going to take a couple days. In the meantime, we have an archive that you can also search. See if you can turn up any useful information, either on the creation of Bendrak's Colossus, or usually there's a repository of other architectural information about the expansion of Dammerhall. I'm not familiar with the exact amounts there, as they've most likely added to it since my demise. She can give you directions to the library if you wish to have a library RP.
Why not?
Yeah, let's go to the
I mean,
library.
what am I going to do? Help
I
rebuild the
just
suit?
did a little bit of. I just dribbled a little bit of spit of my drink out when you said if you want to have library RP. Gombo's on the
We go in
roll.
there and there's some undead fucker being like, "Oh, hello."
Another one. He's like, no, wait, I'm not affiliated with them.
I'm a neutral undead.
So she can give you directions to the archive, which, hilariously enough, Fergus and Nulgrim 100% passed, but Nulgrim got a 9 on his perception, and he did not notice the sign that said archive.
We just look at each
This
other,
way.
exchange a silent. We will not tell a soul.
All right,
Listen,
so
we're both off our game.
I have invented rules for library RP in 5th edition. Is that every library or repository of knowledge has got a bonus die that it adds to knowledge-based skill rolls, so long as you're in its certain topic matter. So in this case, if you do any knowledge rolls about constructs, alchemy, architecture, or Dammerhall industry, you will get an extra 1d10 to that roll.
Gotcha.
However, it's a lengthy process, so that'll be 1 day per search. It's going to probably take about 5 days for Freya's suit to get rebuilt.
Yeah, I kind of have an idea of what I want to start researching then, but
Okay.
I'll let everyone else decide what they want to do too.
Yeah, since we're going to kind of go into a little bit of time lapse here for while everyone says what they're going to do day by day.
I'm going to research alchemy. Specifically, I want to try to find anything that might give me a hint of what I could make to corrode this armor that's being like impenetrable. These dwarf fuck like Death Knight guys. I'm trying to find something alchemical that I could use to weaken them to the point where we can actually hurt them.
Gotcha.
Because we can't rely on volcanic activity for every fight with them.
Right. Why don't you give me a alchemy tools check, and then you can add that additional d10 for consulting the archive. Thankfully, there is a actually surprisingly well-equipped alchemy lab here in the Foundry with lots of equipment, more than you could use in the field, that'll help you out.
So that's a 27.
A 27. All right. So with that experimentation, you are determining that you think there might be an alchemical bypass of some sort here, but you're going to need more time experimenting on it. So what it'll be the exact same rolls with the archive bonus, and you're trying to equal 100 total over the collective number of rolls.
Gotcha. Well, that'll probably be my first day of stuff, so if anyone else wants to do things, we can go day by day.
Yeah.
Nulgrim will be curious about the Grudgeblade sword and see if there's any. Does that fall under the the crafting of the Grudgeblade sword and all that? Would that be in this purview?
It could also be history, maybe.
You know, I'll say that this could factor into what's in the archive, so you can get that additional d10.
All right. What type of roll would that be?
I would say this one would probably be an Arcana.
Any chance I could do investigation?
No.
And then plus a d10?
Mm-hmm.
27.
All right. I'll just give you the handout then, because that's you were able to find. Also, by the way, I forgot to describe it thematically. So the books, air quotes, in the archive are not actual paper, because that would have been disintegrated over time.
Mm.
So the important stuff that dwarves have is that they are they write them down on stone tablets and then bind them in metal bindings. So they're these massive, like 200-pound books that need to be taken off these shelves via like a rigging system they have and put on these reinforced stone tables for you guys to slowly move through. So turning a page in a book is your lifting weights. Gotta get those gains. But you do find one that
Nerds are huge.
It doesn't detail how a grudge blade is made. Even amongst their own people, dwarves are fitfully secretive with artificing knowledge, but you do get a preview of what they are capable of doing. So I will just give you the grudge blade item handout.
Okay.
It's a nasty little number.
Mm-hmm.
What's Taskell and Thrum up to?
So it's probably a long shot, but I was going to try and see if I can piece together what he's doing with these smelting facilities. Or how he figured out how to do it, if there's anything recorded in here at all about it.
This will definitely be an investigation, because you're looking for anything that Bendrak or his servants at the time left behind. So you will not get the archive bonus, but this will be an investigation to search it.
Yeah, right. I've only got a +1 to that, so long shot away. 9.
So you don't find anything on the first day.
Yep.
It's not that there isn't anything necessarily in the archive. It's just it's still a large space, and you're still searching it. Thrum.
Thrum is going to be looking at old schematics and trying to figure out a way to build a wheelie system to drag his cannon behind him when he is not large.
You're a little too old to pick up a crafting hobby, Thrum.
Imagine they're mounted in your standard cannon chassis to begin with. But
Yes.
And before Thrum starts walking around with a little red wagon.
You do discover a very interesting tome that's talking about how rope is made.
He'd read that for a little while. Otherwise, he's also going to help out the ghost lady. Pretty much, she will determine that anything she needs done, he will do it immediately if it is within his capability, and she gives him the orders. Whereas Fergus is like, go away. Yes, ma'am.
And I assume Freya is firing work on the suit.
Indeed.
All right. Feel free to do any edits to the BP that you want to do, as well as the fact that you don't forget you got the 2 extra ones on top of what your level is. And I would say that you could attach arcane cannons or mortars or even the darts without needing to spend a BP, because none of them are attunement items. It's no different than someone just carrying it. So there's no reason why you can't just affix those to your suit if you want.
All right.
All right, day 2. I assume Fergus wants to do another roll.
Yeah.
Question: if those are affixed to his suit, can he fire them?
Yes.
Oh, fuck yeah. Sorry, I still want 1 cannon.
22.
Yeah, so Fergus is fully barricaded himself in the alchemy lab, and he is going like full mad scientist mode on this one like piece of the black iron armor that you got off of one of those Dammerhall, trying to crack the code.
Every now and then he comes out, Yago's like, why do you need that white coat? Reasons.
God, but what does it mean? How does the most famous bard in Corsiconia fit into it?
I haven't discovered how to bypass this armor, but I've created a lot of methamphetamines, and it's been very helpful.
I don't think I'm going to have to sleep for this next 5 days.
Why is there a hole in that stone table? It was bothering me. I punched it. I didn't need those fingers anyway. They were slowing me down.
Why do I have so much skin? Peel.
You know what I hate? The taste of my teeth. All right. Who's up next on what they want to do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still with my cork board. So let's see. Yeah, better long shot.
So you, with that 19, find 2 interesting pieces of information in that there's more of an absence of information. You see that there actually was a spot on a shelf called the Colossus, but it looks like the schematic book was removed. Like Bendrak perhaps took it away, but it was constructed here. Skimming around a little bit more, what you do find is records of the metallurgic process needed to create the body of the Black Iron Colossus. There's a few notes from the different dwarven artificers talking about and questioning where the king got this particular metal from, because it lots of eerie feelings and such like that. You imagine if you ran by this with someone with Tinker's Tools knowledge, or actually, now that I think about it, you have Smithing Tools knowledge, so give me a Smithing Tool roll.
Okay.
As you look at the smelting compositions of the metals and such.
Let's see. So use wisdom. It's the
Mhm.
attribute.
Yeah.
And 18.
All right. So, with that, you're able to determine the purity and the thickness of the Black Iron Colossus's armor. So I am going to tell you what, if you would like to make a note here, what the damage threshold on that baby is.
How joy.
It is a damage threshold of 60.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough nut to crack.
Mhm.
God, it's the Nokia phone of golems.
Well, guys, this was a good run. We found it. We found the city, and peace.
What is Nilgrim and Thrum up to?
Of course, we got Fergus over there trying to figure out how to bypass the Black Iron's defense. So
Correct.
Thrum will, I mean, as the woman stops bossing him around more and more, and
She
he's
just
got
starts
leisure
passively
time.
ignoring you at some point because she runs out of things for you to do.
Yeah, I mean, he's not like looking for her. It's just if she comes and says something, he gets up and goes and does it because it's easier just to do it than to try and.
Yeah, but have you ever tried
Argue.
bossing around who just meekly does it? It gets boring after a while.
It's true. Then the spark goes out and you drift apart. And
I never took Thrum for a sub, but I guess that makes sense.
I guess he's not a chief. He's a follower. He's a soldier. He would, seeing all these books, it's usually not his thing, and he didn't want to poke around outside the Foundry. He is going to start reading and see if he can find anything in the histories about a dwarf that ever developed stone skin.
This will be a flat history. You can roll this, but you will not get the archive bonus.
While he's doing that, I just pictured after you said that, Gombo, about him being a sub, just all his wives, he was super happy when they were mean to him, but when they started acting lovey-dovey and housewife-like, that's when he leaves.
Yep. You find a lot of stuff that you think is gonna be a thing until you realize they're just talking about like animated statues and things like that.
Yeah, people with tough outer shells.
Oh, Thrum,
Yours.
you human walnut.
He's bored.
Nilgrim.
I think Nolgrim wants to dig more on the see if there's any accounts of the black iron, like the thumb that they or the finger that they found and lost.
Okay. This will be a history, and you can factor in the archive bonus here.
All right.
Also, define lost.
No longer in our position. 30.
All right. While it's nothing about that finger in particular, you do find some like academic discussions of dwarves talking about the dark shadow metal armor of that legend that Taskell told you about, debating about its properties and things like that. Some back parts of the corners of the archive, there is some discussion about how the son of Father Mountain and Mother Fire was able to only melt and shape the metal via burning it within inside his own body. So there is some purely theoretical and like the type of theoretical theses and stuff like that that not many people enjoy talking about because it's the unpleasant side of, the equivalent of science.
Mm-hmm.
That it is possible that you could try to replicate a similar process to create at least a more watered down version of that metal, like what you would know as black iron, using melted dwarven flesh, as they are also the children of Mountain and Fire.
Nogor flopped down in his chair.
Go through it.
Yep, and falls to the floor. Damn it, takes away a lot of the dramatic. You probably bring that to everybody's attention and just kind of the implications that how, just further suggests how they're being made, or these, various things are being made, that it's not just the souls being fueled, but potentially the bodies that are sent to the, fire or their burial are also used as such.
Striker would add to that. That would make sense why the heart of the mountain is cooled. All dwarves that received the return to mother and father burial in Dammerhall submerged into a magma flow, and they all returned to the molten lake at the heart of the mountain. The bottom. If Bendrak needs a great deal of melted dwarven flesh, that would be where to pump it from.
If you don't mind me asking, and how did you get you and the other two specifically out?
When
Seems
my
like one
father
hell of a
died,
feat.
when
Yes.
my father died and we submerged him into lava, I just made it was a separate one. He was not in a position to argue. No
Huh.
one would disrespect my wishes when I died. And when my son died, well, let's just say there was those that were still alive that would prefer to follow my long-standing orders even after I died.
Huh. Oh, well, makes sense. Can't think of anything
Was
else
there
beyond that.
anything else anyone wanted to add to that usage of dwarven flesh? Just want to make sure anyone, if they had a forum.
It's kind of a
I'll
vague
say
guess.
that's disgusting.
At least he's using every part of the dwarf.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Day 3 here. Thankfully, still no sign of Bendrak sending anyone down upon you. All right. Fergus, you want to give it another go? You've been getting
23.
consistently almost 25 every time.
I think I'm a little under 75 though. after
Yeah,
I
but
do the math.
still, that's good progress.
Yeah.
Would Nolgrim be able to help Fergus?
I don't know. Do
Sure.
you have alchemy trained?
Are you trained with alchemy supplies?
I think the closest I have is gem cutting from that.
Yeah, this is definitely not one of those type situations.
All right.
I think I'm the only one in the group that's actually trained with alchemy. So other than maybe Freya, but she's working busy.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm at 72 right now. So if I get a lucky roll next time, I could be done in 4 days. But
All right. Nolgrim, what's you doing then?
I can't think of anything else I'd want to look up specifically, so I think he's probably just going to peruse the stacks for anything that might catch his eye. and just enjoy the library like you used to.
Just the frustratingly long time it takes to telekinesis, because these books are beyond what your mage hand could lift, so it's fully like a it
Right.
smashes into the ground and then you slowly drag it without help.
Yep. I'll just possess Thrum and have him move it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's like the worst purgatory ever. A person who loves to read, but the books are too heavy to turn the page.
Oh, this is the Twilight Zone.
Tasca, what are you up to?
Well, I've found some useful information, if situational, so far. Can't really help with the affecting of that information, so I guess I'll keep trying to find more about what might be going on. 17, not doing terrible. I think he's found more out about what's going on with that magma connection. But
I mean, you discovered one of the defensive features of that Colossus. It's an important to figure out different bits. Let's see, a 17. Flipping through my notebook. On a whim, you find yourself flipping through some like heavy stone books about different like runes that they talk about incorporating into golem designs and things like that. Which one of them catches your eye is a sequence of runes that takes an extreme amount of expensive metals to input into a golem. And it would need to be done while it's still in its forging cast. That effectively is like a adaptive defense that every time that it would take damage, it would become immune to the last damage type that it received. It does not look like the work was quite done, but with that 17, you probably go inspect that large suspended casting that the Colossus was made in, and you see the small inlays of runes and the outer armor. So it looks like the Colossus has a similar runic defense system called the adaptive defenses, so it becomes immune to the last damage it received. And then until it receives a different kind of damage, and then it'll become immune to that one.
So the thresholds for physical damage, and this would be elemental.
Any damage, and then the threshold is for any damage. So it's like a rotating door.
You said I could put the mortar on my suit combo?
Yeah, mortar or the cannons, as many as you want to.
How many mortars do we have?
I believe 4. Let me check my notes here because I wrote it down. Yeah, 4 mortars, 2 arcane cannons.
And I think we were talking about it earlier, but I think I might actually want to make it longer at this point.
Sorry, say again?
I might actually want to make it larger at this point.
Okay.
Because it's just going to have so many weapons on it now.
He's making a missile boat.
Kaiju battle.
That would equal the size of the Black Iron Colossus.
No, I've seen this in fiction. We need to find some white iron and make a suit out of that, so it'll counter the black iron.
Quick, raid every polo club and golf club that you can find.
We're countering the dragon, the black iron with the dragon's greed.
It's just a Gundam with a sweater tied around his shoulder.
Pop collar.
Behold the White Colossus.
Dance battle the Colossus, or
No, because then the White Colossus would definitely lose.
No, you're thinking of a jumping contest.
Yeah. Okay, then Thrum.
I guess he'll keep reading for the same thing. History again. Any dwarf in history that ever had his skin turned
Yeah.
to stone.
Worth a try.
Yeah, I mean, he has no trained skill.
Yeah.
They can do anything else. So.
This isn't the
But
archive
he found,
that you just...
I feel like he found a very good book about a magical kingdom with a very intriguing story, protagonist and antagonist. And it's a children's book.
So, Thrum has found Dwarven Goodnight Moon.
In this repository of technical manuals.
Yeah.
No, it's Snowbeard and the Seven Humans.
It's Why the Fuck Won't You Go to Sleep? Have y'all ever seen that book?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's
I love the
hilarious.
Sam Jackson reading it.
Mhm.
Yes.
Go the fuck to sleep. Oh why would you not go the fuck to sleep?
All right. Then the next day, let's see if Fergus can do it.
Hey, I think that might do it.
Go ahead and tally it up.
That's 27. I'm at 99.
You're just like, you know what? This is what I'll do. I can say you pulled an all-nighter. You take one level of exhaustion, but you'll instantly complete it.
I'm fine with that. I just come out holding a flask of some questionable liquid. I just kick down the door. I did it, motherfuckers.
He was so close he could taste it, and he did.
All right. So Fergus,
Mhm.
through incredible trial and error, though you did not figure out a single solution that could bypass the armor in one go, you have discovered that a certain sequence of elemental damage causes the armor to lose its damage quality and crack and fall off entirely. The
Okay, so you
sequence
have to hit
is
Okay.
the sequence is acid, lightning, radiant, cold, force.
Acid, lightning, radiant, cold, and force.
Yep, in that order.
Sounds like a hell of a party.
Now, is it one of those things if, say, got hit with a fireball in between, it resets it?
Yes.
Now the question is, do we have that all available in the group? Because I got none of that.
I had force, but then I
what are they again?
lost my cantrips.
I
but
put it in the chat in roll 20.
I hate to break this to you, but the cannons.
Yeah, but don't they have to recharge for 5 minutes?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
They could cover a couple of the holes if they're.
I think the tool, the artificer tool, could possibly cover the force aspect with Eldritch Blast.
I have a Hellspit volley cannon that does force damage.
Oh, okay,
Gotcha.
perfect.
I could probably make some stuff to do with acid, so that even if we don't
Well,
use the
so-
cannons all the time.
So we have the acid in the cannon. We have lightning in the dart. Radiant, we could probably
Yeah, I
Look
got a
to-
couple radiant spells.
Pascal. Cold could also be cannon, and force could be the force volley cannon.
And I do still have 3 charges on that acid arrow wand. That leaves.
Does it have to be a certain
Cold?
damage threshold, or does it just
No,
need
just
to
has to hit it. Doesn't have to
Okay.
bypass the threshold.
Yeah, this is a way to
And
shut down
so
that threshold.
lightning
right?
and cold are the ones we don't have, other than the cannons, correct?
Well,
No
we
one
have
else?
the dart for the lightning.
Okay.
What about our weapons? Doesn't somebody have a cold weapon?
That would be Nolgrim's sword.
Yeah,
Crossbow.
actually, yeah.
Did he turn it into a pick or something?
It's still the item.
Yeah.
This will be quite useful, lad. From what I've been able to gather, that Colossus has just a massive amount of armor made of this stuff. Good work.
You're
Fergus,
proposing we could do something with it afterward? Isn't the material sinister?
So
I'm
that
more
just
concerned with, like, we also have to consider, like, because one of the things I was pointing out, like, yeah, we can use the cannons against the giant, but when we start fighting the Death Knights, we're going to need to have more reliable means of doing this. Other than just the cannons that can only be fired every 5 minutes, because I imagine we're not going to come across only one of them every 5 minutes. So we need to figure out ways to do this kind of damage as well after we deal with the giant thing too.
I think other than Radiant and Force, there's might be alchemical items to do the other three. I don't know if
I'm probably gonna.
if 5th edition, but I'm pretty sure Pathfinder's added them for almost every element type.
Yes, Fergus, when you describe this to and share this to the Empire party, you see the ghost of Queen Strega floating there, and she briefly makes eye contact with you when you present this information, and you get a single half nod of approval.
Fuck you! I don't need your approval. I just fall down and pass out.
You see, this is why I don't be nice.
Makes people pass out.
Good. Take a quick bio if this is a good place for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some water. Might as well take the bio now.
Hey, can y'all hear me? Hey, can y'all hear me?
You're louder now, but yes. I'm guessing you can't hear us. Or I'm inaudible.
Hello, Cope.
Or both.
I can hear you, Kenneth. I can hear Cope too.
One of these days we'll do a sound check before the game. Also, one of these days I'll probably start editing the videos again.
And I'm back.
I'm back.
Hey.
I think that just leaves Loki.
All right, what about now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Could hear you before, but yes. Unless there's something between this and the previous year.
I couldn't hear y'all,
Ah.
I guess. I lost one of my earpieces, so now I only have one earpiece. So when it runs out, I gotta switch to the other mic, and I just need to get a good headset. If y'all have one you recommend, please send me a link. If it isn't expensive,
I can link you the one I have right now. I just bought it recently, and it was only like $30, I think.
Is it plug-in?
It's plug-in.
All right, so USB.
Yeah.
Yeah, please do.
I don't like using wireless ones because they always die on me.
Yeah, and that's what continuously happens to me because all my old ones that were plug-in just kind of like the earpieces just kind of melted. I didn't use them for like 4 years, so.
Here, where's Skype? This is the one I just bought. It's not the greatest, but it works fine.
Yeah.
Like you can hear me now. This is the one I'm using. So
one I'm using is all right, but it doesn't work when you're charging it for whatever stupid reason. And also, it like literally says microphone off, microphone on, and you can't actually hear what you're listening to when it says that. So I can't use the mute feature in it.
Oh, I think I've had ones like that before, yeah, where it literally audibly says microphone on.
Oh, I didn't understand what you were saying. That sucks.
I have wireless ones that I use for my phone when I'm just like working and I don't have to listen to anyone else. I can just put it on.
Yeah.
But that's the only time I ever had any issues with like power on.
So I have wire ones just for my phone, but I use corded for my computer.
Yeah.
How many mortars were
there? Was
just
4
one.
Mortars.
Oh, 4 mortars?
Right.
4 mortars, 2 cannons.
Attached to the suit.
And like 20 of these darts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I figure one of these at a time, the darts are going to be like diminishing returns, basically.
They're going to be helpful, I think, when we're fighting the Hell Knights more than the Colossus.
You can technically incorporate the darts into your suit as like a firing bank, but that's just like thematically describing having one of those darts. They were just a fun magic item that I like the effect, so I gave you 20 of them.
On the topic of annoying headphone features, I want to hit the person that decided earbuds needed touch controls that you can't disable in settings.
Yeah. I'm back.
It's like it constantly falls out. So when you adjust it, oh, hey, we've lowered your volume. Or, oh, hey, you paused the thing you're watching / listening to.
Yeah, it's why I eventually just got non-earbuds. I just got big, bulky, over-the-ears ones is what I did.
Yeah. For my phone, I have a pair that I finally found once that came with built-in fucking clips like, headphones used to.
Yep.
The only issue I have with the headphones I just bought is it's not even really an issue. Do not put it all the way up when you first plug it in. Your ears will bleed. Because it is loud when it wants to be.
Now that everyone's back and
I think Cope is still AFK. He left again.
Again? Yeah.
Again?
Yeah. Well, I was curious if it's in the ruins. If it's in the thing as a ruin, and we destroy the armor, would the shifting immunity go with it, or
possibly?
I guess we'll find out eventually, presuming we even fight the thing.
Yes. You guys are going to discover different things that the Colossus has in it as you explore, and then it's going to kind of be like a combat heist, was my thought. Because Fergus completely of his own accord.
Turns out there's 3 golems inside of it.
3 golems in a trench coat. But Fergus of his own accord cracked the elemental code.
I imagine I start running out of like black iron shards. I just go into that giant thing with they built the thing in and just start scraping out whatever's left in there. Mix it in a flask and test it out.
Well, technically speaking, you probably never ran out until you eventually cracked the code, because that was the problem, is it was invulnerable.
This is true.
Though I will say, probably it's not worth mentioning, but I'll just make it clear anyway, that you're pretty certain that formula will only work on like the stuff that you see on the golems or on the armor, or probably what the Colossus is made of, not the like the finger that was actually forged by a god. Like that, probably
Yeah.
splashing it with acid won't destroy god work, but the stuff that Bendrak makes will be affected by it.
Yeah, I kind of figured that
Mhm.
this was a lesser version. that we were
Yes.
talking about.
We've already established that it's like an alloy. It's
Yeah. Exactly. I wanted to just make that clear.
This is the 80% pure stuff, not the Colombian uncut.
Colombian uncut devil metal.
sorry. What game are we playing again, guys?
Shadowrun, we got to get to that place. They need these. We got to cook.
Yes. How many campaigns can we do where it's just Breaking Bad? Yeah, I had that thought. Then we'll get back to this. That of Vampire the Masquerade. I was thinking about like, yeah, you do a campaign set in Las Vegas. I'm like, there's nothing stopping them from doing Vampire Breaking Bad if they wanted to. There's literally nothing stopping them from just an RV in a desert where a bunch of vampires make mad. All right.
Well,
So
got to make money somehow as a vampire, and
Mhm.
if they ever catch you, you just turn into a bat.
I did have a question on the 5th day when we get to it too, that I was probably going to ask Taskell, the DM too, if he would have the answer.
okay, well, we'll do that because we only have just done Fergus on the 4th day.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just letting you know. I do have an idea. I was going to ask if Taskell's not doing anything that day, because I'm just kind of going around my stuff and being like, what can we accomplish here?
Yeah, I haven't yet. Plus, I imagine we're all in pretty much the same area.
Mm. Speaking of Taskell, what are you doing on the 4th day?
Probably continuing that, although I'm tempted to see if I can find anything more specific about like weak points of golems, like stuff artificers would be like, yeah, and make sure this is covered well, because
yeah, why don't you give me a Arcana check, and you can use the archive bonus.
While I was rolling that, I was also going to suggest if you have unattuned slots left over, since Nolgrim's dead, I don't think he's using that Cloak of Mighty Magic. That might be helpful for Taskell.
Oh yeah, this is a all ideal time to swap out any attunements.
Yeah, that's why I was bringing it up, because that cloak is really nice, especially if you cast your highest level spell. You can cast it as one level higher than what you normally could cast. So it's helpful.
that's a 19 total.
A 19 total. All right. So you're reading one of these hefty metal-bound books, talking about how some particularly powerful yet delicate runes with crystalline inlays can be vulnerable to like thunder damage that can temporarily mess with how they work. And you're starting to like think about how that may have some overlap with that thing that you discovered yesterday. When you notice on the archive that one of the braziers built into the wall, this is not one of the ones that have the Everflame in it. That was only in the central room. It briefly sputters to life with like a black flame or not a black flame, it's black fire, but it shoots up like this thick black smoke as it's just like, and then it flicks out, just leaving some smoke in the air for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then you wait a moment, and the next brazier down does the exact same thing. A red flame pops up for just a moment, kind of like sputtering and kicking as it shoots up thick black smoke before it puts itself out.
That's unusual. This would be like the first time I've noticed it, I guess. Must mean something, but I'm at a loss. So I'll ask some of the others what they think it might be. And keep watching the other.
Probably blew a gasket. It's leaking into the oil's leaking, burning.
Sorry, I was reading my character sheet. What happened? I'm sorry.
No, I think that's very in character that you don't know what happened.
Okay. Very well. I'll continue to know nothing.
Besides, didn't you explicitly said that you told your ghost great-great-great-grandmother, fuck you, I don't need your approval, and then you passed out for today?
This is fair. Yeah, I forgot about that. I'm still on the ground, just with my middle finger pointed up.
As frickin' Freya's built her Hulkbuster armor.
These sconces, they're sputtering to life for a second, emitting a lot of smoke and dying again.
Definitely adding some stuff to my sheets.
It's between me, Threm, and Nogrim, we could investigate them. Especially, the guy what can stick his head through solid matter.
Yep, I was about to try to do a dissection of it. That be investigation?
Yeah, you can use investigation. This is definitely one of those, you tell me what skill you think would be the most relevant.
Not with that roll.
Yep.
Can I help Nogrim to give him advantage?
Sure, I'll say that's true.
Pick up something he can't pick up.
With that, you notice two things. One, that there is like a thick black soot residue that's pretty recent that just popped up there from the smoke. And two, that there is no fuel inside these braziers to light on fire.
Oh, that's a problem right there.
Have any more of them come on? Or
Not since the other two got involved.
Wait, the other two what?
You guys.
Oh.
The brazier stopped flickering like that when you called over Nolgrim and Thrum to look at it.
And they just went dead.
Yeah, there's just now nothing's happening. Like the black smoke residue is there, like something did happen because it's a physical evidence. But you're currently just only taking Taskel's word for it because he's the only one that saw it.
Guess I could try ritual casting detect magic on him. Yeah. 10 minutes out of the day.
Yep. You feel the faint. Hold on, let me look at the. You do feel a trace of magic. Let me just see, because I always have to look up the schools for these things. 1 second.
I'd like to flash to the auto mechanics shop that's going on now as the two secondary attendees came over to help the master, and now they're going, we can take a look at this, but it's probably going to be about a good 10 minutes, and they're all just standing there. And the outsider looking, the outsider looking through the window. The outsider looking through the window is like, they aren't fucking doing anything. Are they just standing there?
You do catch a faint whiff of magic off of these. Recent, it seems like an external thing. The school is evocation, but it should worth knowing that some ranged communication spells are also evocation. Which is a weird thing. Why is the spell like sending the same spell school as Fireball? I don't understand that. I feel like that would be divination, but whatever. However, the one thing you do notice is that it has a faint hint of divine magic to it.
I think it's going to need an overhaul, Taskell. Probably going to need new headlamps on every single one.
Not to mention headlight fluid.
Mm-hmm. Probably looking about a week.
Not gonna be cheap either.
You're being
And,
like the opposite of help.
Unfortunately, our number one artificer is tied up for the next week, so it might take a little longer since she can't help.
Calling them over to help might be a mistake.
So as the over the course of these past couple days, has there been any sign of the Grudge Blade?
Have you guys been searching for him?
Nope.
Do you have
Just been Nolgrim's been keeping an eye out, but not. He's kind of stuck within 150 feet of the alchemical lab.
nothing yet? I've been rolling.
Okay.
Big place.
I feel like that's not a bad thing. I mean, if he rolled in here, this could mess up everything.
Things can get complicated pretty quick, but
yeah,
I think it's something we should.
Also, make sure you guys are healed up because you had like 4 long rests.
Oh,
Yeah.
And library RP, you don't want to screw with it.
Mm.
If it goes wrong bad.
Someday we'll play Call of Cthulhu, where library RP is actually a core mechanic of playing the game.
And when it does go wrong, it still does in fact go really wrong.
Yeah. You gonna do anything else with this information, Taskell, or is that gonna be the end of it?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards commune. Although, technically rules, that's supposed to just be one-word answers.
Yeah, but gods can do whatever.
I feel like you should talk to your gods. This is been a lot of information real fast. They might want to know what you know.
You reach out to the manufacturer.
Well, the fact that it's divine in nature does mean it's either another cleric or a divine entity. So I guess I'll try that in a minute. Go ahead and ritual cast it as well, since that can be done, although, yes, you do have all the time and no idea if something's going to jump us, so might as well not use the spell slot.
Yep. While you're doing that, Nulgrim and Thrum, what are you doing for this 4th day?
Are you insinuating that we aren't working hard right now while we're standing just off to the side?
Well, I assume that to do the ritual to commune with his god, Taskell's going to go to like an aside location rather than just have you guys stare down at him.
Oh, timid tinkler. All right, so
What's up, God? It's your boy Taskell.
It's pronounced Tinker.
You know what's
sorry.
You say timid tinkler, but I've been in a bathroom where there's a kid in the next stall that narrates all the sounds that they're hearing in the public bathroom. That is so much worse.
Yeah. That's how you create timid tinklers.
Yeah.
And then you get those people that are also in the bathroom that you're like, mind your own business, trying to just be quiet and get things done. All of a sudden, in the next stall next to you,
Or the person that
who does number 2 work for?
Or the person that tries to strike up conversation with you on the urinal next to you. I thought that was the unspoken bro code that you just shut the fuck up at the urinal.
right?
Yeah, that's
Some people need code
thing.
spoken at them.
Listen, I've been in too many bathrooms of people trying to go Super Saiyan on the shitter. Okay,
Yeah, I've been there too.
it's always in a Walmart too.
Mm.
At least for me.
Listen, if my hands are on my dick, I am not talking to you.
If my
Don't make
hands are on my
eye
dick, I
contact
must have
and don't
quit.
touch tips.
Anywho, now that that's on the internet.
Won't be the
most
first thing he
relatable-
said that gets us demonetized.
The most relatable thing that we've said.
We ain't even monetized, so it don't matter.
Yeah. They would need to
Thrum will,
monetize this first.
Thrum's gonna be practicing with his cannon at from medium size, moving with it to going large and weapon interaction or item interaction, being able to swing it around and be able to shoot with it.
Book 5. It's the big bad evil guy of that one is going to be the ghost that's been helping us because we won't give her back her shit.
All right, no real roll for that. Nolgrim.
Still because this was when Fergus is finishing up his last round day of research, right?
Yeah.
So I'm still stuck in the library. Yeah, I can't think of anything specific to look up at this point. Well, so try to remember what Taskell was researching specifically, like the armor of the. So
I was just doing general investigation stuff and
I
ended
gotcha.
up cracking the Golem code.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I can't think of anything that would make sense at this point. So, yeah, probably just casual perusing of the library.
All right.
Wait, what about would there be schematics for the vehicles outside?
Give me an investigation.
Would there be an additional?
I'll just let you know this now because I was high enough that you would know. Because no archive bonus for just seeing if something's in there. No, it doesn't look like the two other varieties of black iron golems that you've seen. There's any schematics in here, or for the rolling war machines that you've seen as well. This is probably something that Bendrak designed post the fall of Dammerhall.
Okay.
I mean, he's not manufacturing them here, so he's probably or in those smaller buildings that produce the smog. So he's probably got a larger factory somewhere within Dammerhall.
All right.
Okay. So Taskell, it's been a while since we've done this. How do you usually go about communing with your god?
I'd say it's more of a meditative state thing. Probably. How did we do that last time? I think I surrounded myself with general tools and weapons. Then I got kind of a vision of the father in a workshop of some sort.
Yep. So as you're focusing on the prayer to commune with Father Mountain, the room that you're in, which is slightly aside from the archive, you hear the thump of the braziers sputtering and spitting out blackened smoke that's slowly coalescing into the upper half of the room.
That's either acknowledging I'm doing it right or someone trying to get my attention to stop. So, let's see what happens.
As the blackened vapors kind of coalesce and form like a screen at the top of the room, kind of filling, because hot air rises. You look up, and where sometimes the black overlaps to create a deeper darkness, you begin seeing two glowing red eyes looking out from this darkened black smoke. Very similar to the two glowing red eyes you saw coming out of the black smoke that old Bendrak was talking to when you first met him.
I know who you are.
I would have words, dwarf priest. You know who I am.
But I'd have you confirm it if you would. To have these words.
Hold on. Just have to pull up the name because I forget these things a lot.
That's okay. I forgot it too, and if it's who I think it is, I made it up. So
Hello, my name is Simon, and I like to do drawings.
You, my young cousin, your people know me as Ning Urman, the burning darkness, the flames of vengeance, the firstborn of mountain and fire.
slow, sad nod. Aye, and it seems the deal you've made with the former king has gone awry.
His voice explodes out as like the fires of the different braziers just kind of explode for a moment. He goes, "Traitorous cur, cad and an oath breaker. I shall see him brought to ruination along with all others who have wronged me. That is why I speak to you. We have common cause."
Another slow nod.
I see the sliver of doubt that has taken root in your heart, dwarf priest. Mother and father are distant. They do not aid you as you hope they will, and they have let what has happened transpire for 3 centuries. You know that they will not aid you. You shall live and you shall die underneath your own power, without my aid.
Tassel's definitely concerned at that. As the question then becomes, where did the spells he's been drawing on if they're not aiding? But he is directly involved. But at the same time, we have Nogrim's little report of what happens to those who served the grudge. But we also know what's currently happening to those who got proper burials anyway. So.
Yep.
How is it that they aren't able to stop what is going on?
They are, but they choose not to. If your commune spell had gone through, Father would have no doubt fed you some story of self-reliance, about letting you, his children, learn to overcome thine own struggles to better themselves. Lies. It is nothing but cowardice on their part, for they know that Bendrak, the traitorous king that he is knocking on the door of being able to threaten even them. They are far from as immortal as you believe they are.
Is that why he's doing this? To attain godhood for himself?
Perhaps. I know not. All I know is that he welched on his end of our bargain.
And what was his end of the bargain?
Patricide. The death of my mother and father.
That is disturbing. Though not unexpected. What would you ask of me? Should I accept whatever deal you're offering?
My father is only offering you the barest table scraps of his power, the magics that you invoke, I can offer you greater. Not you as a worshipper of me, but as an ally, co-equal, little cousin. I wish for nothing but to see Bendrak laid low, and all that he has sought to build put to ruin before his eyes. This is a price that I imagine you are not opposed to supplying.
What was the phrasing that all that he had built laid to ruin, or
Yep, all that he is built laid to ruin before his eyes.
does seem to be required of us to accomplish the task we desired here. Regardless, I do not pretend to have the ability to see through any sort of deception you might be brewing on that front, if there is any within your words.
Of all the gods that you have dealt with, little cousin, I am the only one that is not lying to you. You and yours have been deceived far too long for my liking.
What aid would you supply in defeating Bendrak?
Power. Divine intervention. Return to the life of your ally if that is something that you wish. But I shall not deceive you in the high price here. To garner my support will mean, by proxy, you forsake the path you walk with Father. I shall supply you power in his stead, but he will forsake you. For they are jealous and vain beings.
I shall need some time to decide. There's at least one more day before my daughter's armor is repaired. I shall attempt to contact you directly tomorrow with my decision.
Very well. Be wise, dwarf priest. You face a force quite formidable. The apathy of distant gods will not allow you to overcome it. And with that, the black smoke begins to dissipate along with the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Thrum apparently thinks I should take it. Apparently.
Yes. Michael unfortunately missed all that. So pull up a chair, your father declared. It's just offered ultimate power. Oh, seeing power. But not actually from your god. But it'll be okay.
More from your Satan.
Mechanically, this could mean Taskell swapping which god he follows to get his divine powers from. Potentially.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Or becoming some kind of grudge blade.
Well, grudge blades were meant as more of like a pressure release valve for the whole dwarven vengeance, restless spirit thing. There is a connection to them, but they are not inherently followers of the flames of vengeance. They're more meant to be like a pressure release valve to stop them from growing too strong.
I thought grudge blades were like beholden to a
They're beholden
devil.
to vengeful ancestors.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I like it.
So it's around this time that Fergus bursts from the alchemy lab screaming, "I've cracked the code," and then tells a ghost to fuck off and passes out.
If you don't patent it, I'll steal it and sell it for cheaper, you son of a bitch.
She says is like poking his unconscious face. All right. And unless there's anything else you guys want to do, we'll ship on to the 5th and final day. For the suit construction, that is.
Woo!
Let's do it. Fashion show at work.
Task is preoccupied and probably not going to do any research or anything. Maybe consults his texts and stuff, but
Fifth day, Fergus is actually going to go up to Taskell.
Okay.
So I have a question, and I pull out the Ring of Invisibility. From what I can tell, this thing is cracked or broken. Is there a possibility you might be able to fix it? Because I feel like it'd be stronger if it wasn't so damaged. And this is why I also said it would be a question for the DM as well, if you think he'd be able to possibly fix it or not. I figured, perfect time to ask because we're in the forge.
Oh yeah,
like the forge and everything.
Perhaps, but I'd imagine it'd be more Freya's area. I could help with the structure, maybe the enchantment, but then I guess it's off to the DM as to how much further.
If you consult with Freya, who's finishing up the suit, and also Strega Trinehammer, who's hanging around, they would both confirm that it is possible to repair. It would take in a supremely magical forge, which Strega says the Foundry could do. However, you'd need to free the heart of the mountain from whatever Bendrak is doing to it down below, directly below you. So that way the Foundry could attain its full power again. Then repairing it would be definitely possible.
Gotcha. Okay. So
Well,
since
should
I'm
we
already
jump
out
on board?
since we won't be able to do that right now, the only thing I want to do for the rest of the day is I want to try to make a potion of like blur or something to basically make it harder for me to get hit. Whether it be that or maybe it's just something that can up my AC temporarily or for a hit or two. Because we're coming up to get things that are going to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can do any of that.
Let me see what is. Let's check this out.
Like the only effects I could think of spell-wise to kind of correlate them to would be either like blur or like Shield of Faith, where it gives you a plus to your AC.
You already got the shield spell. You can try to make a potion of blur. I'm going to say it's going to be a DC 25 alchemy check.
Okay. I think I'll have to get a natural 20 for that, but I might as well try.
Yep.
Nope.
Yeah, even with the archive bonus. So, no luck yet.
Yeah, that's fine. That's all I got.
All right. Nilgrim,
Yes.
what you doing?
Probably just is it possible at all for me to try to get an idea of where the grudge blade might be? I know I'm very much.
Yeah, you can do like a searching for them.
Okay.
That could be a survival or investigation or perception. I'll let you pick.
We'll go
Could my
investigation for sure.
abilities as a dwarf help him?
Yeah, if you just want to help
the
him out for the day,
detect-
he could do it. He could do it at advantage as well.
Yeah, and so I'll detect while you're popping through walls.
So go ahead and give it another roll there.
Still 15.
Still 15. With Thrum's help, at least today, it looks like he's over near the entrance or / exit of where you guys came from. He's in that direction right now.
That's good to know.
He may be picking up on the fact that he's got intruders for the first time in hundreds of years.
They haven't exactly been quiet. We should probably get the group all together and figure out what we want to do about him, if anything.
I think that's wise. It could be an ally or it could be a great big porker.
Is this the time where we want to do the Freya's new battlesuit fashion show? If Michael's ready for it.
Is he online? He said he lost his mic earlier. And he'd be back.
Oh yeah, I'm on. Yeah, I mean, I didn't prepare anything different visually, but it's got all sorts of new goodies on it.
Yeah, because it's got
Do tell.
List the weapons now, just for fun.
All right, so I've given all of the weapons new names, as with all of the weapons on the battlesuit. So I've got the... Where is it? The Grimwitch Soulrend Cannon, which is that arcane cannon that we got.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot all sorts of nasty elementals at you. Then I've got the Hammer of Forlorn Souls, which is the system of all the mortars. And then I have the Eyes of the Mountain, which is the system that shoots out the darts.
Just a full-on Iron Man suit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in addition to the weapons that you have from the additional like BP and everything like that.
Yeah, so I've got a whole nother cannon, an axe. I don't think you'd really be able to see it outwardly, but I've still got my analyzer that lets me find people's weaknesses.
So now you've got 2 cannons?
Yeah.
Or 2 of your cannons?
2 different cannons.
Awesome. I was confused. I thought you said you had like 2 of the BP cannons now. All right, he's a mobile turret now.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do think we should spread out a couple of those darts elsewhere, so if timing doesn't work out for breaking some armor for the future.
Yeah,
because we have
also
20
have
of them.
We have a bunch of them. I would split it because you have the best attack from range.
Although I don't think this is attack. This is a save.
Yep.
So you just say seek, whichever there is seek, and hurl the dart. It'd be nice to have a couple other people having them in case, because right now we're relying for Freya for not only the lightning because of the seeking darts, but also the force damage.
Yep.
And
that's a great idea. Every single person should have 1 dart. So if it comes around in the turn of negating the 4 elements, any one person whose turn is up. Yeah. So if it falls on them and they have the dart, bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah.
I mean, she still has it on her suit, but she just doesn't have, instead of having 20 ammo, she has whatever, 16,
like
15
or something. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as Freya's okay with that.
Also, other than the cannons, do we have anything else that can deal with cold?
I got my melee weapon.
Yeah. Can you still attune that as a ghost?
Yeah, I can still attune things.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were attuned to your frostband anymore, because I think I could technically use it, but it wouldn't be a best option for me. Because you're using it as a pick now, right?
Yeah, but I'm also able to do it from ranged and all that stuff. Basically,
Okay.
just possess.
I was just making
send it
sure that
flying
somebody
around.
had that in case we needed it.
I got it.
And Taskell, if you have empty space, do you want to use that cloak?
Yeah, I think.
'Cause I don't think anyone else is using it right now.
Yeah, I also think the only attuned item I have is that I have the Stein. I don't even remember if that actually requires attuning.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just figured since I don't think Nolgrim can use use it that well right now,
Mm-hmm.
it might be beneficial for you mostly. I mean, Freya probably too, but since you use the highest level power magics we have, hell, at the very least, you can just upgrade your blender ability one time.
Mm-hmm.
While people are deciding that stuff, Gamba, I had a question.
Yeah.
How's Miku handling it basically in like a volcano? Because I can't imagine mushrooms love that much direct heat.
Well, the inside of the foundry is surprisingly cool. And
I just meant in general since we've been in this like area.
Yeah. He's doing better than you'd expect him to do. Fungus is surprisingly just ridiculously durable. It
Yeah.
is. It survives everywhere.
Yeah.
I
I just feel like of all the characters we have accompanying us, I think we check him the least.
guess he's pretty quiet and stoic.
Yeah.
I think of everyone, he's probably the most unnerved by Ghost Nilgrim.
Also, would he be able to communicate with Ghost Nilgrim?
No,
'Cause-
not at all.
Yeah. So we basically have to, like, if you ask a question to Nilgrim, we have to translate. That's gotta
Right.
suck.
Yep.
Mhm.
Did you say he'd be the most unnerved?
Disturbed.
Or-
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
Because, fungus feeds off of death and decay, and you're just kind of like undead now. So
Mhm.
it's kind of like
Yeah, this is a spirit kind of thing.
Mm,
Doesn't exist in the plant animal world.
yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Though I likewise have no idea what he thinks or feels about me and have no way to communicate with him.
hmm You're just on very two separate like wavelengths
Mhm.
in reality.
So I've noticed you're a little bit staying away from each other. Did something happen? Yeah, I died, and I'm a ghost now, and I guess we don't have the connection we used to have.
He's changed.
It's changed. But the other real question is Taskell. You said you were going to think about it.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, in person, I'm still like, it's a question.
Are you tempted by the dark side?
Does Taskell want to have a
course.
conversation with anybody?
Yeah, it's up to you.
His daughter?
Have this
Talk to
book.
Fergus. Listen, I know plenty of human gods if you want to convert. I can tell you all about them.
I mean, clearly he should talk to Thrum, who knows everything that's
He
going
starts
on.
pulling out pamphlets.
Well, I know lots of great human gods. This one makes you feel guilty every time you masturbate. I don't know why people worship that one.
Something
Also,
about
there's
hair on
this
the
one.
palm?
Is this one really friendly guy gave me this book? He worships this god. I think his name is Cthulhu.
My famous Warlock of Dagon story. I had a lot of fun with that one. Like, you convert to the worship of Dagon. You get to have sex with fish people. One of the other player characters, like mermaids. I said, yeah, like mermaids.
Except the half
That's
is
pretty good.
distributed more even.
And there's this Minotaur who keeps handing out these pamphlets.
At this point, I think Freya would call over Taskell.
Hey, do you need daughter?
She'd say, hello, Father. I made you something. And she would hold out this beard bead made of gold. And she said, there's nothing important about it in particular, but I've got a shield spell stored in it. I just noticed that, you're always going into battle head to head with me and Thrum, but you've not got stone skin or a battle suit to hide behind. So maybe a little extra layer of protection would help.
Thank you, daughter. It is quite lovely. And that will come in handy.
You seem a little distracted. Is everything all right?
No, nothing's quite all right since we found out what's going on with the Foundries here.
That's
the ancestors. What would you do if offered help in stopping this, but it would cost something you thought you'd wanted your entire life?
Well, it's a tempting offer, but maybe I should put it this way. I haven't said it up until this point, but I can actually relate to Bindrak in a lot of ways. I mean, he's basically achieved my dream that I've shared with you, creating golems to protect the city of Dammerhall against any threat. But down the line, you have to ask yourself, what does it all cost?
At what cost? And who's bearing the costs?
Whatever's going on, I think we're gonna figure it out. I wouldn't go making any dark bargains myself. I've already got a bit of a plan for taking down Vindrak, but I'm still spitballing around in my head.
I see. Yeah.
Eliza. Go ahead.
No, you were about to explain the thought.
I was just going to say, it relies a lot on whether or not we'll be facing him once again without his golem, or whether or not my time will be taken up with that. But I think the key is separating Bindrak from that crown of his.
Could be. Well, it's much more to think about. You've likely got more work to attend to.
Always more work to be done until we save this place.
And even after. Hopefully for a long time to come.
Don't even make me think about that yet.
Just clap her on the shoulder in an affectionate way as he turns to walk off.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe spend a little bit of fixing that bead into the beard, the central location.
Bendrak's scary, but paperwork. Ugh.
Oh no,
That's the true horror.
day job.
That was beautiful.
Mhm. Still never told her she was contacted by Dwarf Satan.
I mean, he came up and said, "So hey, what if you were contacted? I'm asking for a friend. If you were contacted by
Yeah.
Satan, too."
What if they tempted you with something
He
you wanted?
did.
I'm still divided on it. So I've got decent angles. If anyone else has anything they want to do.
Mhm.
I think Nolgrim will kind of want to pull the group together and try to hash out what we plan doing about the other resident of the place here. It might be helpful. I mean, Lord knows it'd be unlikely that he'd take sides with Bendrak.
Certainly worth trying to contact it before we leave.
You go into the hallway. Guy with the big swords in the hallway. He doesn't know who you are. You don't know who he is. Farewell and adieu.
I might be
you
able
can
to
try if you wish.
speak to him Grudgeblade to Grudgeblade, but I probably appear more of one of the specters that haunt him than actually stand out as somebody that does not. But I could certainly try. And if things go sideways, well, having his weapon could be just as helpful.
I mean, if he's been here this long, we can at least find out what the fuck he knows, hopefully.
Also true. But point of curiosity is that if I am the first to approach him, he's probably only seen undead dwarves ever since, well, for the past 300 years. So it might be helpful to have at least one of the living, but it might be helpful if we all approached him as a group. At the very least, to make him hesitate on acting first and talking later.
Yeah.
I'm interested in your idea of approaching him as the only undead dwarf. Can he hurt you?
Probably. That blade of his.
When Nolgrim was alive on a Grudgeblade, he beat up a ghost.
Mhm.
I'd say I could technically stab Nolgrim right now and make him hurt.
Watch. Why? Betrayal.
So we just want to go find him now since we're pretty much set up to rock.
I think so.
I just look over at Ignis and Ivy like, I'll give you 2-to-1 odds that as soon as he sees us, he's gonna think we're monsters and attack us.
Ivy, I'm not gonna put any money on that. That's absolutely gonna happen.
Well then, why don't
Ignis,
we
you seem like a betting gal.
Why don't we send in Nolgrim? If he could have a conversation with him, maybe he thinks Nolgrim is one of his dead ghosts who follows him, that talks to him. I'm looking at you, Nolgrim. I don't know how it works, but
You're not far
if
off.
he's used
They
to
don't really
seeing
talk,
ghosts,
Could
but
we,
maybe you.
You used to be able to summon all kinds of weird, spooky things, right?
Mhm.
Could he summon you and give you a body?
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm not
it's
entirely
odd.
sure how that works.
Also, I
Although,
think if
I
you did that,
don't-
you'd probably be bound to doing what he says, so it'd probably be a problem. But
True, but at the same time, it's not like I summon a body and a grudge blade just pops into it. At least I don't think so. I think what I summon is the grudge blade.
That just
Whatever.
means
As long as that
he-
judgy one doesn't come back.
Mm.
like you said, he's been here for a long time without talking to any real dwarves. Maybe the first dwarf that should try and logic with him is one who's in spirit form.
I could give it a shot. Just try not to be too far behind.
Nope, not at all.
Let's
We
find
won't
him
leave
first. Last I saw, he was towards the entrance.
Thrum, do your detector thing. Tell us where he is.
All right.
He's towards the entrance.
Back towards the entrance, boys.
Well, ready to go.
You're all heading out there.
I have a good feeling about the ghost dwarf being the first one to talk to him. Might be the only thing he's talked to in 300 years.
Most likely. Is the entrance still covered by the late queen's presence, I guess? Or is it only the heart?
Yeah, no, she can go out that far. You guys just
Okay.
had to be within the place for long enough.
Okay. Yeah, I think Nolga will just go and take point on this one.
Yeah, but we're all going, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll stick around a corner in case things go bad.
Yeah, we'll stay back. Let Fergus do the in between.
Wait, me? I'm not a ghost.
Yeah, man, you love the in between. You'll stay behind the ghost, be invisible.
But I mean, you ain't afraid of no ghost.
That's true. I ain't afraid of no ghost.
And you know who to call.
Dwarf busters.
I
As
think
you
the city's
guys-
seen enough dwarf busting.
And more than one variety.
Zing.
Some of those.
Hoorah.
Anyway, as you guys are walking through the hallways back towards the entrance to that workshop room, beyond the front foyer, you hear a sound echoing through these empty halls. It is a sound that you're all familiar with. It's the sound of a whetstone sharpening a blade, with slight dwarven mumbling underneath of it.
No, grudge man.
The blade.
I hope
Yes,
they
I know,
as
I know.
opposing.
Soon. Yeah. I know. Try it. I know. I tried. That's what you're hearing.
I'm going to cross the street, and I'm going to not pass this homeless guy.
Would into the room as ghostly as he does. And see if
You see this figure. He's on a stone stool. He dragged over into the center of the room, sitting on it, facing the doorway that all of you would eventually come from. His back to the entrance door, sharpening the grudge blade.
no reaction to my presence.
Let me see.
I mean,
Do you enter just through the door?
No, I think I'll go through the wall.
He does not seem to immediately notice you.
Mhm.
Absorbed in having a conversation with things that only he can see. Seems pretty one-sided, judging by his reactions.
I heard it described well by someone. It's like he was definitely not talking to himself.
Yeah.
He was talking to someone that no one else could see.
So Nolgrim would kind of meander into the range where he usually saw his own manifestations, just to kind of blend in. And then, probably for the first time that he's ever recalled, he would say, "Grudge blade, the time has come."
His glowing green eyes immediately snap up to you. his teeth pull back under his unkempt snow white beard to show that they're kind of like rotted and at jagged angles.
Mhm.
He says, "Unclean dwarven soul, defiling the sacred halls, me people. You should have gone to your grave where you belong." Starts rising to his feet, sword in hand.
Norman would say, "Slay me, but you let a greater evil exist within our realm."
His head suddenly snaps with a pop and jerks to one side as he yells at something that you can't see. I know! I'm trying! I'm working as hard as I can. I'll stop it. I'll stop it all. I'll get your vengeance on you bloody souls. Just, he grips the side of his head. You see something move underneath his skin. Just one thing at a time. One grudge in front of me at a time. Though you do not breathe, you feel a pressure of air in the room change as the warlock magic kind of wafts off of him.
Mhm. But who is the grudge that you are targeting? Would it be Vendrak?
All of them. All of the souls that deserve to die for what they have done. I'm reminded of it constantly. All of them in the book. I'm changing. Must fulfill the grudge. Must not let the unclean stain this city. Starting with you, undead soul.
Oh, go invisible.
All right, so he's going to make these Eldritch Blasts at disadvantage.
Maybe sending Ogrim in first was a bad idea.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
All those will hit.
All right.
I assume at this point we're gonna have to hear some screams.
Wait.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So you are now within melee
And
range of him.
I see. I think. Is that how close they typically go? The manifestations. I would have tried at least keep.
No,
some space.
you were
Oh.
across the room, but he has pulling Eldritch Blast. He's pulled 10 feet closer with each hit.
Oh, well, yep, that'll do it. All right.
It is worth pointing out that this guy is a level 20 warlock.
Oh boy.
So
As we come bursting through the door after we hear Nolgrim's girlish screams.
Also, what companion would you like?
Ivy, I guess.
All right.
It's been a minute since she's been in.
Nolgrim, you're the Prince of Dammerhall. Flaunt your title.
As his Eldritch Blasts take the form of him taking swipes with his Grudge Blade sword, so it's like full on like anime, just like transparent blades that hit you, but then they pull you closer.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "You shall meet your illumination, unclean spirit, at the hands of Auric Truemight, last Grudge Blade of Dammerhall."
You're not the last.
Technically.
Probably held more weight while still alive, but you know.
Yeah, that probably would have worked better. I'll drop ID in here.
Also, was I able to make the suit bigger, or would it make it impossible to travel through the building?
Yeah, we could make the suit bigger. I'll adjust that. I just forgot. 1 second.
I'll make room.
Bunnies. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, and I would say if we were in this kind of combat pending situation, Thrum would have been large too, so he could hold the cannon.
Sure. It should be. Oh, I think we're just missing Freya on the initiative.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Shit, Freya's got bigger. Now I'm gonna need 2 cannons.
She's got the other one.
At this point, it's just purely canon Indy.
All right, Fergus, you're up first.
Let me see. This guy looks pretty crazy, and judging from how we fought lately, Nogrim doesn't have much life in him.
No, I'm in rough shape.
So I'm just gonna go over there and just like yell, like, I don't know what I would say, but basically tell him to get the fuck off of him. Probably call him some variation of old piece of shit, whatever have you. I'm not very creative tonight, so you'll have to forgive
Yeah,
me.
no problem.
So I will stab at him.
Not what I meant.
I will go ahead and hunter's mark him too, just because why the heck not?
All right.
All the way down in the seat of her bed.
Listen, he gets one more attack on Nolgrim. He might be gone, so panic mode kind of goes in.
That will hit.
Okay, put sneak attack on. So that's, let's see, I imagine poison is halved.
Let me see.
Because he was a dwarf, I imagine.
Yes.
So 24, I think that is damage.
All right.
And I will hit him again.
That'll hit.
For 13, well, 10 plus 3 poison, so you can reduce that however you need to.
All right, so that'd be 1 poison damage then. So 11.
And I'll just action surge to knock him down. Or hopefully try to get him down. I'm not trying to kill him, I'm just trying to get him down.
That will hit. So that's
For
another 11.
And one more.
That'll hit. Rolling high.
I know. And another 8. I'm basically at this point just trying to get his attention on me.
Yep.
And that's it.
All
That's my
right.
turn.
It's a good way to do it, man.
Let me see.
Beat the shit out of him. Except he's level 20.
Yeah.
He is going to expend 2 legendary actions to cast a spell.
Okay.
And he is going to target Fergus. So let me see here.
Actually, I use my legendary resistance to tell him to fuck off.
I'm trying to. I didn't write down what his DC was. Hold on, real quick. I need to calculate it. Because it's 10 plus proficiency bonus plus casting.
It's 8 plus
right?
proficiency.
8.
Plus
Okay.
cast
Okay. Okay. All right. So then it would be. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Give me a intelligence saving throw.
Hey, I actually have that.
All right.
22.
So he reaches out to you with a hand, and you feel like the collective insanity of 40 dwarven souls crying out for vengeance slam into your mind all at once. You do take 4d6 psychic damage. However, you successfully resisted Feeble Mind.
That's good. Just grab my head as he does that. It's like, okay, listen. I don't want to listen to my ancestors when they're living with me, as I point back to Throne. And that's my turn.
All right. He is then going to bonus action on his turn. He is going to Grudge Blade Curse Fergus and Thrum. Because he can Grudge Blade Curse 2 people.
Do you mean Thrum or Nogrim?
Thrum.
He's targeting Thrum and Nolgrim. Is that what it is, or Thrum and
Fergus
me?
and Thrum.
Fergus and Thrum.
Okay.
Fergus and Thrum. You guys are trying to gaslight me into changing the targets, and I am not having
No,
it.
I literally just didn't
No,
hear it
I'm
quite
not.
clearly.
Yeah.
I heard it, but I was making sure because Fergus and Nolgrim were in his hands.
Yeah, he's got long enough range. He just identified the big stone guy as a cannon.
Absolutely. I like to spread it out so that we don't kill Nolgrim again.
I also just sorry, it's just from my perspective. It was funny. I said so he does it to Fergus and Thrum, and then you said so Fergus and Nolgrim. I said no, Fergus and Thrum. And you go so Nolgrim and Thrum. I'm like no.
I didn't intend it that way, but that's hilarious.
Yep.
Also, I'm glad I am not feeble-minded because that sucks.
Yes. Also, I forgot at the start of his turn, his aberrant flesh knits up, so he heals 10 hit points.
So I missed what happened to Fergus and Thrum, who were actually targeted.
You got hit with the Grudge Blade Curse. It doesn't do anything to you, but he gets additional bonuses when it hits you.
Okay.
Right. Hold on one second, because he's going to cast another spell.
He's not doing a legendary action, is he? Because I
This
don't
is
think he
his-
can do that on. Okay, I was
This
gonna
is
say,
his turn.
Yeah, I forgot that Hexblade's Curse is a bonus action.
Yeah, it's a bonus action.
Listen, he went Paladin for like two sessions, and I forgot all about it.
You see him take up his Grudge Blade in two hands, and he stabs it into the air where it sinks into it, almost like the reality, and he drags it down, creating a slash in the fabric of reality itself in the shape of another sword, as he is casting a spell known as Blade of Disaster.
Blade of
He
Diaster.
has access to 9th level spells. Oh, that's right. Jesus.
Level 20 Warlock.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't include what it does, but you'll see in a second. He can attack. It's basically spiritual weapon, except he can attack with it twice. So he's going to target Fergus with both. Now I'm just remembering. I have to look up what the curse does. I know it improves the critical threshold.
Yeah, it
But-
increases the critical threshold and it adds, I think, his proficiency modifier to damage.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry, I have that in. Also, so here's
Damage
a
roll is
fun.
equal to your proficiency. Yeah.
Mhm. Let me see. That's for everyone using 2 melee attacks, spell attacks with the blade, with each one. On a hit. Hit. Oh, cool. So the Blade of Disaster scores a critical hit on an 18 or higher, and then you're also on his curse, so it's going to be a 17 or higher is going to be a critical hit with this thing. He's going to take 2 shots against Fergus. Not at disadvantage, they're just flat rolls.
Yep.
1, 2.
I'm going to that second one will hit no matter what, but I'm going to use a superiority die to make the first one miss me, which is just enough to make it miss me.
Yep. Luckily, that second one is not a critical threat, so you will just take 36 force damage,
Owie.
and that is his turn.
Yep.
Giving you a little preview of what Nolgrim could have been. Thrum.
He's dead now.
Dum-a-dum-dum.
Do we attack?
No.
Fucking yes.
Fergus is already kind of attacking and being attacked.
Yeah. So there's no more.
He's had most of his tar beaten out of him.
We haven't explained anything. He doesn't understand.
I
We can
agree.
explain after he fucking stops trying to kill us.
Why'd you run at him?
Because he was,
I motioned to Nolgrim.
which is really just motioning to empty air next to you.
Yep.
All right. Thermal 5 foot. Do we have 5 foot steps in
No.
5e?
No, but
No.
your movement is 5 feet in big form,
Yeah.
so you could move 5 feet.
So he'll 5 foot up and holler, Grudge Blade. This is not what we want. We are on your side. He will. God, he has so many attacks at this range. So that's 15 feet. He's going to just send out his. Try and do an opposed chain.
Are you raging?
No. So bonus action, he would rage.
Okay.
Bring that up. Thank you. Good point.
All right. So you do succeed. Roll me a d6.
All right.
All right. As your chain flies towards him, you see a spectral dwarven rune swirl around him, and the chain goes to his side. Level 20 hex blades have an ability called Armor of Hexes. When a target cursed by them attacks them, roll a d6. On a 4+, it automatically misses.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. He would shout out, "Release my friends. We only want to talk. We're on the same side." Any kind of chance of he has no diplomacy skills, so
This guy is full crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you could try. Maybe a natural 20 will crack through. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but
what do I need?
Athletics? This would be diplomacy. If
sure
you're
it's not athletics?
Yes.
I have a +12 to athletics.
Hey, I've seen Full Metal Alchemist. I know how Armstrong bonds with people.
Just flexing.
Yeah, it would be a diplomacy, and I'll just tell you flat out, you're going to need a natural 20 to break through to him.
Insight, deception. I don't see diplomacy.
Persuasion.
Persuasion. Oh yeah, this is good.
As I said, you're going to need a natural 20 no matter what. So yeah. All right. Freya.
All right. We're not talking him out of it. Nolgrim, what should I hit him?
What was that? What should I hit him?
What should I hit him with? What element? I don't know. Grudge blades.
Anything works.
I do have him out of character. He is grappled by Throne.
No, he's not.
Now.
Nope.
That's why you rolled the d6, because it just missed automatically because you're hexed.
Yep.
Oh fuck! Oh shit. Okay. Yes. Can I say another curse word?
Sure. This is
Barbara Streisand.
This is a profanity positive gaming table.
All right.
No, go say hit him with whatever.
Okay, try to get him in your grasp, Thrum. I'm going to walk up the pillar and
Mother and the Father, I'm trying.
I'm going to help you. Don't worry.
You know, if this place wasn't dwarven built, I imagine her machine just walking would probably shake the whole building.
Gonna hit him with the Flamebane Analyzer to strength checks.
All right.
So that means when he does the strength check against you, Thrum, he'll be at disadvantage, I believe.
That's correct. The armor of hexes will still apply, but
Oh, nice. That's only a bonus action, too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to hit him with the Hellspit Volley Cannon, I guess. And miss.
Yeah, that'll miss.
I've noticed you have a hard time hitting with that thing.
It's crazy because he got a good bonus to it.
I know. It's just funny because like he hits with his crossbow all the time when he uses it, But every time he pulls out that cannon,
At this point, he's just looking at the wrong monitor. He was looking at one of the other the other cannons.
Sorry, it's a lot roomier in here now.
Got those cup holders.
Look, take
Ivy's
those
just gonna throw a
posters
couple
down.
psychic blades.
Like Luke said, take those pictures down.
All right.
So first one, probably miss. Bonus blade, go
That'll hit.
for 15 psychic damage.
That's on the board.
That's all she got.
15 down, 434 to go.
It basically did a little bit more than what he recovered after on his turn.
All right. Let's see. Before Taskel's turn, he is going to spend a legendary action to cast Eldritch Blast. He's going to throw one at Fergus, one at Freya, one at Thrum, and one at Ivy.
I think the one against me will be at disadvantage because he's in melee with me.
That's correct. It will be. So, first up, Fergus at disadvantage.
That'll still hit.
All right.
Oh no, I pulled closer to him.
Now the one at Freya.
Oh,
Not bad. She's not one of the cursed targets, so it's not as terrible.
is there a
Now-
size limit to being pulled?
I don't
I
remember.
don't. Let me double check. I don't think
feel
so.
like-
Yeah.
Pulled. Well, I mean, she get pulled right here, and then probably get stopped by the pillars, maybe.
Yeah, that's probably how it's going to go down. So next up is going to be against Thrum. And that X4 is just reminding me that there's 4.
He
So
got
Richard-
hit, but he can't be moved.
Yeah, so you can still take the 13 force damage. And finally, Ivy.
That'll hit.
13. Then she probably just impacts on Thrum's ass.
And
Remember, by the
more,
way, that you guys have 14 temporary hit points this start of this.
Mm,
So
well,
calculate
that's
that
good
into
to know.
your
Mhm.
calculate that into your hit points because I definitely had to.
All right. Taskel, it's your turn.
So, quick reference: how does the shield and the bead work? Now it's probably an artificer.
It
infusion
just works
thing.
identically with the shield spell. That's a
So it's a
reaction.
reaction to get
Mhm.
plus 5 AC.
Get +5, and it's a one and done. But it gets restored every day, so you can basically use the shield spell once.
Well, guess I'm wading in with the Forge Fire Hammer on him.
All right. That'll hit.
Before.
That's a solid 19 damage right there.
I'll go ahead and bonus action the Spirit Weapon in.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
Another 20. Assuming he doesn't have things.
Nope. He seems to be taking full damage from all this.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes, the yellow hammer of dwarven kind. It's been a minute since I've seen it.
Mm.
Yeah, that's my
Alright.
turn.
Nolgrim.
All right, I am going to focus on his sword and try to haunt it and send it flying away from his grasp.
Oh,
Uh,
the grudge blade.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. Hold on. I want to check something about the feeble mind. What did Richard roll?
22, I think it was. So,
Okay, yeah, that would just mean that I forgot that because I thought it was DC 18, but I forgot the grudge blade also increases spell DC. So that would have been a DC 21. So you still won, even though
Yeah.
Richard.
But I mean,
So-
I think he cast that before he hexed me.
no. The
Yeah,
weapon
the-
is called the grudge blade, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
increases
Sorry.
spell.
it
It's
is a
confusing.
potent weapon.
Yeah.
So,
It's
All right,
great.
so I
Uh,
get
Holding a
you don't
grudge
wanna get
blade, so
critical
he
hit by
uses
it.
blade against his grudges.
no, you do not. So I could target a creature currently held by another, or object held by another creature, and they must succeed a strength saving throw. And
Alright.
It has disadvantage on it right now. So.
Mhm.
Wait, no, that's or is that the ability check that has disadvantage on? From Freya, I can't remember. Ability checks. Not
Okay,
saves,
so
never mind.
what's the
Not
DC?
saving.
16.
16?
Yeah.
Ooh, he narrowly
That's a miss.
fails.
So I would like to send it flying up and over behind us. So arcing back here. I
Okay,
could do it 30 feet. So
Just as a quick side note, it really is random whether or not a spell has you do
Yeah, it is.
check.
all right. And then
Oh, I forgot to roll concentration for when he was hit by Taskell there. He has advantage because of Warcaster. But...
Mhm.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Oh, and then
And
the
the
second one.
hammer.
And then
And I think Ivy as well, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, all good.
Okay.
At 11 might have failed, but fucking advantage.
all right,
Mhm.
now
Yeah, now you guys
Warcaster-
know how I feel
Warcaster's
with the
nice.
fact that you all have Warcaster.
I thought Taskell didn't have Warcaster. Did he?
I do
No,
not,
Nolgrim-
but next
Nolgrim
time I
did.
get it.
Then I'll send my my frostbrand flying at him and take a swing at him with that.
All right, put that on the map. So many floating weapons.
Can you? Is that a bonus action to do that, or?
It's basically part of the haunt action. Because it's an unanimated item. I'm just sending it flying at him.
Gotcha.
So toss that here. And take a swing with that.
That will hit.
I would like to re-roll that.
No, Alexa, shut up.
Alexa, I like Siri better. Fight me. I don't
Stop
really
it,
care for either of them.
bro.
Something just played an ad randomly. I'm not sure what. All right. So yeah, I'm
Man,
gonna use
welcome
my
to
piercer
modern
feet.
society.
Right.
Could you imagine someone from the 70s time traveling and you're all like, something in my house is playing an ad and I'm not sure what it is?
I'm just until we go full Futurama and they figure out how to find ad space in your dreams.
Right. All right. So that's 6 damage plus 1 cold.
All right, so that's 7 damage total.
And then is he currently armed, or was the weapon?
You literally just pitched.
Just want to make sure he didn't have any sort of secondary weapon handy.
Yeah.
All right. So then I will go this way and I guess just hover over the weapon.
Hover over the weapon. Okay.
Yeah.
So, as 2 legendary actions, he's gonna cast Dimension Door. He's gonna appear over here.
Mhm.
That's his legendary actions. So, Fergus.
If you could get the sword, be a good move.
I don't know. I feel like something's gonna be bad if I grab the grudge blade.
Well, hold on, because I could guide you or give you, because I did read up on it. It didn't say any issue for not. Yeah, it doesn't say that only hex blades or grudge blades could hold it.
True, but Nolgrim has already gone in great detail about what happens to grudge blades, and Fergus doesn't want none of that.
I'm just
be
thinking
fair.
it'd probably be better than him picking it up right in front of Fergus.
This is true.
Just get the pair of tongs.
I was actually wondering, could I use my action to go over here and scoop the blade into my magical hat of storage? Or is it too big for that?
No, it can fit because it's a long. Well, that's right. The magical hat of swords only stores small things, so no,
Yeah.
not a long sword.
Okay.
If it was a bag of holding, then that would be possible. I might do an opposed skill thing. But the hat of storage, no, unfortunately.
You can survive this. I'll grab it from Golem.
Fuck it. Yeah, I'll grab the blade.
Okay, you're holding the blade.
Would that take my action to grab it?
No, it's a item interaction.
Okay.
Power flow through you, Fergus.
Not going to use that. I'm just going to use my other hand to stab him with my stab shroom like I've been doing.
The good old stab shroom.
That'll hit.
Look at
You
us.
get very high rolls.
I know. So that's 21 and 1 poison damage, so 22, I guess.
Yeah, it was minimum of 1, even with resistance.
And then 1 more stab shroom
That'll hit.
for 11 more points. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be doing those D6s, huh?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I want to be above board when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be for the sneak attack one.
Okay.
So I think that'll still hit.
Yep.
I
And
think
that
the second one
will
will miss.
Yeah.
And if he still needs to do concentration of anything, I think the first one,
Yeah, because he saw the blade of disaster.
still probably going to pass. But
24.
Yep.
All right. So, first thing he's going to do is he's going to bonus action move the blade of disaster here, and it's going to make 2 attacks against Thrum. 1, 2.
22 and 20 will hit.
All right. Luckily, none of those are crit threats.
And that's force too, so you can't even reduce that to half.
Yeah, rage doesn't
It's
help.
not. All right, so that's 79. No.
Man, 10 away from the funny number.
And then he is going
okay.
to turn to you again, Fergus. And he's going to reach out his hand to give me a Constitution saving throw.
No, actually, that's not bad. But it's probably
Wow,
gonna
you
fail.
do manage to pass it because he doesn't have the grudge blade in hand. Congratulations. For the first time you've successfully resisted power word stun. I was going to rule that if he power word stun you, he could just grab the sword from your hand.
Oh, that'd be fair. He does that, and like, I've seen this one before.
Grab him.
Oh yeah, I also forgot he heals 10. Seeing that doesn't work, he goes, and then you see the center of his torso underneath his armor starts kind of glowing red, and he floats into the air like one of the possible aberrant grudge bounds Nilgrim used to be able to summon. And so now he is going to be 40 feet straight out.
Thrummer, Freya, come grab this fucking sword from me so I can shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
Drum.
Oh, so much going on here.
Everyone has a summonable weapon.
I'm feeling a little left out, I'm not going to lie. I can summon a flying, just a little fly, actually. There we go.
We've upgraded from animal companions to familiars.
Yeah. All right. He's going to move to there. And attack with a grab.
Okay. So.
I thought
Opposed.
Well, it's
wrestle.
only if he fails this. And he does have disadvantage. All right, so roll a d6.
Okay.
The armor of hexes protects him from your grab attack.
Okay. He's going to try again.
Yep. All right, another d6.
Yep.
Hey.
Yep, that one actually grabs.
Okay. And then, so those were his 2 attacks. Now he has his bonus action.
All right, I forgot he did damage. Yep. Pull first concentration real quick. Yep, he's still good.
A chain. And that's just damage.
All right, just the damage.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 16. Is that your turn?
Yep.
All right. As you're holding onto his hand, your hand tingles with energy as this kind of like spectral magic courses over his flesh as he kind of has a brief spasm, his eyes going wild. As one legendary action, he gains a spell slot. And now it's Freya's turn.
Mhm.
So he's not in the air.
He is. Oh yeah, that's actually a good point. Do you have 40 feet of reach through him?
I think maybe I was muted earlier. I tried to say that. I was like, isn't he like 40 feet in the air?
Yeah.
And
No.
I just assumed I was wrong.
Okay, so
No, he has 15 feet.
I
So we
will
might need
add.
to backtrack that turn then.
Yeah, backtrack that turn a little bit there, pal.
Is this the guy we're trying to hit?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's
but he's 40
Yeah.
feet up in the air.
To be fair, Throne's 10 feet tall, but that's still 30 feet of distance.
That's still 30 feet of distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hit him. Any suggestions?
If
You
you
take
can't
the
do
sword
anything,
from
you can-
Fergus.
yeah, I was gonna say take the sword from me if you have nothing else to do. You have a better chance of holding on to it if he actually tries to wrest it free from my grasp.
Yep. I'll take the sword.
So you're gonna move back and move behind
So
Ferguson.
retcon, you say you move over here or something. Well, you have to be able to reach me to grab it,
Yeah.
but I guess you have 15 feet reach with the. Oh, that's with your.
That was the chain.
Yep, there you go. Actually, yeah.
Just pluck it from my fingertips.
I can dance like a butterfly.
Can you attack spiritual weapons or no?
No.
No. Okay.
You can
All right.
dispel it if you have dispel magics of any kind, but
He's still going to do the exact same legendary action either way. So
Yeah.
now it's Freya's turn.
All right.
see if your cannon recharges.
Yep.
You can always try one of your other cannons.
Oh, I'm way ahead of you, Gumbo. Freya's gonna move over in this hallway and say, that was a bad idea, and pull out this giant motherfucking cannon that would usually do radius damage and hurt everyone. But he's 40 feet in the air.
This is true. Now remember, he has to do a saving throw.
Yeah, but I don't think any of these are strength, so I'm kind of boned on that end.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that any of his other stats are
He doesn't look very dexterous. So
Yeah. Let's hit him with frost or fire. Or let's do lightning, actually. That's dex.
All right. I'll just quickly throw out the dex save. 10. He's going to fail. Lightning shot. 20-foot radius sphere. So roll 60-10. Oh, and he's wearing metal armor, so he would have had disadvantage anyway.
Yeah. Huh, kind of low.
Is still incredibly beat up looking now as you just blast his ass with lightning.
Yeah. Where were we from? Were we from Corsiconia?
You were originally from Avaland in the Dwarven City, but yeah.
I'll say they got a lot of birds in Avalon.
All right, is that your turn?
Yep.
He's going to legendary action fire 4 Eldritch Blasts at Thrum. Just going to quickly lower what his attack bonus is because he does not have his Grudge Blade right now.
Oh god, he's gonna pull you closer and just keep dropping you on the ground.
Well, no, he can't be. Though that would be
Oh yeah,
hilarious.
that would be hilarious. Bloop,
He could do that to you, but either way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I would like it to know for the record that is with a +10, so I just got good rolls. Oh, that's right. Also, that 19 is a critical hit, and that 18 because or not just the 19 because you're his grudge target.
I think it works on spells. Let me double
Yeah,
check.
it works on Eldritch Blasts.
Okay,
So
I had a Hexblade in one of my games
I
before.
gotcha.
Does any of those miss Thrum? Cope.
Are you
He's
muted?
stunned in silence.
He is muted.
Oh, you're muted.
Maybe his headphone died
I
again.
think most of them are above his AC. But
Yeah,
don't
I think
know
so as
offhand.
well.
I think the only one that has a chance of missing is that 17.
Mm-hmm. I'll just while we're waiting, do a big 1 roll for them all. So
Make sure to add the extra dice from the crit.
right, so that's
And it's using a legendary action to do that?
Yep.
yeah.
You use 2 of its legendary actions to get a spell back, I think, last turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then this turn, use them to volley Thrum.
Goddamn, fighting level 20 with legendary actions?
I mean, most of the legendary action people have pretty high levels.
Yeah, and he's also like the only one. So the legendary actions are more just to compensate the fact that he's trying to fight an entire party on his own.
Yep.
So let's see, and then Grudgeblade adds his.
I appreciate legendary actions. I think they're a good addition to.
Yeah, I would agree. I agree as well.
When we get around to playing that One Piece game, I've implemented something very similar in that. So
Yeah. All right, let's see. So proficiency bonus, and he hit 4 times, so that's plus 24 damage, and then plus 4 times 4, 16, and all right. Cope's still not here.
His headphones might have died. Like he said, it was having problems with it earlier.
give us your actions day and night.
I'll just quickly check his sheet. Armor class 19, so the last one will miss. So that's important to calculate here.
Boom, bada boom, boom.
Okay, that should be right. 45 force damage. Just mark it down from his token since he's not here to do anything about it.
Is he still up?
Yeah, he's still up. He was at 61, so he's teetering. But
Yeah.
Ivy.
Yeah.
Just go throw a couple knives.
Something.
That'll hit.
For 15 psychic damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Go ahead and roll the next one, and then I'll do the concentrations after. That'll hit. All right. Okay, those both succeed.
Yep. Just barely for that first one.
Mm-hmm. Taskell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I suppose first things to send that 15 towards him. Though it's going to take a while to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Guess I should swap over to my crossbow. Although, item interaction of putting the hammer away, and I'd have to pull that out.
And it's both your object interactions to put a weapon away and then pull another one out, so you still have an action.
Do have a shield on. So
Oh yeah, it's an action to remove the shield to use your crossbow. That's true.
Yeah. So there's that. I think prior to now I've just been swapping, but meh.
Throw the hammer. Do it at disadvantage.
We need to get him a Thor's hammer that can return every time he tosses it.
35.
I think you need to be like right underneath him and then throw it straight up.
Mhm.
But imagine if you got 2 natural 20s on that disadvantage roll and killed him.
To be hilarious. Actually, let's not take the shield off just yet, but to put the let's see, flame strike. It is 40 feet high. It's a 10-foot wide cylinder. I guess I can put that behind, kind of, maybe off to the side.
Well, is the door open? Because that's the way it came in, right?
I could say sure. And he's 40 feet up. It should be pretty possible to not accidentally hit an ally with it.
Well, it's a 40-foot column.
And it's dexterity, not his best. 14, that does fail, so that's 30 points of damage.
So it seems.
So he's absolutely blasted to shit. His armor is smoldering and slightly melting. He's wheezing in the air. He is still up, but he is on by like a hair's breadth.
Does he need to make a concentration check for?
Yes, thank you for
Same.
reminding me. This was actually going to be DC 15. She does succeed. Before your turn. Oh wait, no, he only has 1 legendary action left. Never mind. Go ahead, Pilgrim.
All right, I will use. Was it Phantasmic Force and basically throw him down diagonally, so he basically impacts the statue at the 30 feet foot mark. He needs to give me a strength saving throw.
10.
That's a failure, so he takes 3d10 damage. As he's bludgeoned into the statue.
That's some low numbers for 3d10.
That's some low numbers.
Well, luckily, he only had 4 hit points. So you...
should have been a disadvantage, but I'll let it slide this time.
I thought that was ability checks, not saving throws, though.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah. So you reach out with the ghostly force and you yank him, and he slams, denting the stone of the statue before he flops to the ground, broken. And you have that thing where when you're fighting him, he's like this crazy, powerful badass with all this magical power. But the moment he hits that statue and he smashes into the ground, cracking the stone, you have that moment you're like, oh, I just threw an old man into a wall.
Yep.
Not
He's
an
done
old
this-
man, advanced old man.
He seems
I
to
call that-
almost shrink within his armor as he is wheezing there on the ground. If anyone who's interested should give me a heal check.
What would be a heal check in this system? Medicine?
Medicine, sorry, I get the skills confused.
Yeah, it's all good.
I call that the vulture effect gum.
Just nothing but
Wow, I'm good at it, and I rolled lower than them.
DC is 10.
Ivy, get in there.
I'm gonna roll for Ivy just because it's funny. No,
Quickly, someone roll a 6.
someone roll for Thrum.
Anyone can do it untrained. I don't care.
Frey got it with 11.
I guess I'm too far
Whatever
away to tell.
power was keeping him around this long, passed beyond dwarven life cycle and slowly transforming into an aberrant grudge-bound, is now fading, which means that he is just dying on the floor right now. He is still conscious, but he's at 0 hit points. You see the green eldritch energy beginning to fade from his eyes as it just turns into gray cataracts of just this, because he was probably old even before the fall of Dammerhall, plus 300 years.
Daskel, can you stabilize him? Can you?
I can try. I guess so. At least use a low-level healing spell on him.
Give it a shot.
So go ahead and cure wounds. So we'll either heal him or kill him. So.
The divine light of Father Mountain comes from your hand, and you notice a few of the smaller wounds of like where he dented in the stone do close up. But you, especially this close, are noticing that he's still fading. There's something to do with how his power works. It's like the flow has been reversed. His time has come. The very thing that gave him his power, his warlock magic, is now ironically the thing that's killing him. But his eyes are a little bit more clear, and he wheezes out, "The voices are gone, but the dark's calling me in. It's nothing but limbs."
Nolgrim would
So-
approach,
Mm.
just knowing damn well what he's about to go through,
Mhm.
and just he doesn't know what to say.
It's clear that he can't see, but he's
Mm.
going to reach out to try to grab someone, which is probably going to pass through Nolgrim and land
Mm.
on Taskel. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
No, I don't think I ever asked. What exactly does happen when a grudge player dies normally, you know?
They're basically consumed by that dwarven hatred and become abomination, similar to what you've seen him summon.
Are they still conscious?
More feral. Think, they don't really recall much of their past lives. It's basically all about the moment and the hate or whatever their grudge is.
And like while he's watching this, Fergus just kind of like, he doesn't say at the moment, but like he's just thinking like, this is why dwarves need to fucking change.
He grabs you by the collar, Taskel, with more strength than you'd expect from a dying old man, but not enough to like dislodge you or anything like that. And he's clearly blind, but he says, "You have to stop him. He's betrayed us all the dwarfs, all of us. Whatever it takes, you have to stop him. Even those that aren't consumed by what he's doing. The hatred's poison. Please swear to me you'll do whatever is needed to stop him."
We'll do what we need to.
Take my sword. I don't know what'll be good, but take it. And his one hand rests on his book of grudges. There's no other grudge plate. I can't pass along the grudges. I can't give them my power. Yeah, you'll have to do it on your own.
Nolgrim's heart would break.
I failed them all. I failed them all. And then he just dies. Whatever soul he had remaining is pulled. into the dark space that only Nulgrim have seen.
Well, what kind of existence is he going to live now?
Not a great one.
A shade better from what our ancestors are currently having.
You hope.
Hmm.
I mean, what is better, being basically consumed and erased from existence that seems to be happening with our ancestors now, or being subjected to just endless hate?
That Freya was about to bring up kind of what I was getting to. I was going to say, I mean, we know there's another way. Is this existence worse than not existing at all, Nulgrim?
It's worth a shot. I mean, he was the last Grudgeblade. You could try to give him a proper burial. Even if it does end him where all the current ancestors are, it's no worse.
Even if we do fix everything, there's no saving his soul now. Might be better just to put this whole Grudgeblade business to rest forever.
Perhaps. But
That is a very poignant perhaps, because I feel like from Taskell and Nulgrim are having two different thoughts on the opposite ends of that.
right.
But I believe that is probably where we're going to call the session.
Yeah.
But hey, you all level up.
Oh, sweet.